Precious Achiuwa, is he in the starting lineup? I doubt it. But, roll the dice today.
Jay, which big would you like to see in the starting lineup, assuming that they decide to put at least one big in the lineup? If you have Domas out, we know Max Reynaud has been called up from Stockton, so he would be theoretically available. Dylan Cardwell available. Drew Eubanks available. Maybe Precious Achiuwa. Who's Jay putting in that starting lineup?
Well, it's the shiny new toy for me, but I don't think it's going to happen that way. I would love to see Precious Achiuwa be the first person to get the nod, but of course, we don't even know if he's going to play. So, greater minds, ladies and gentlemen, as I was going to say, fellas, I got to shake that up.
You've been good at that, Jay. You haven't messed
Kayla,
that up.
Yeah, Kayla and Kev. How about that? Double K and K, Kellogg's.
Yes.
Jay, seriously, to that point, when we used to go out to dinner with my mom, or we'd go out to lunch, and the server would come home and say, okay, what do you guys know what you want? They'd leave, and my mom would go, I hate that. I'm not a guy. Why do they always say that? So I'm with you. I've tried to be very,
Y'all are so polite.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever heard my whole life was, guys. And I'm like, I'm used to it by now. I'm one of the guys, I guess. But KK was my nickname all growing up, Jay and Kev.
Oh, yeah?
KK was my nickname.
I like that.
JKK.
Okay. Yeah.
KKJ. Yeah, I like that. I like where you're going right there. But I'm, ladies and gents, I'm going Precious Achiuwa. I don't believe Precious is going to be the starter. So I'm going to take a little curveball. I'm going to throw a little sweeper here at both of you guys, and I'm going to say Dylan Cardwell.
Let's go. I kind of like Drew Eubanks lately.
That's where I was going.
I mean, what I saw in that last game, was it the last game that they lost? I can't remember if it was that game or the game before. I've watched so much.
Last game, I think he was 4 for 4, and I think the
game
before that he was 5 for 6.
Yes. So the Westbrook, I think Eubanks kind of connection too. I'm starting to see a little bit of that where, it's in sync, the timing's good. I kind of like them out there together. So if you start Westbrook, well, why not throw Eubanks in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I guess, you could make the case that if you're going to be without your bigs, the Warriors are one of the teams you'd want to play without your bigs because, they don't overwhelm you with size, and they got Quentin Post, who's got some size, but he plays on the perimeter. So, I don't know, Jay. I'm trying to convince myself that the Kings are catching a break tonight because of all the Warrior absentees. But with Domas and Levine out, I'm not buying what I'm trying to convince myself. You know what I mean?
I definitely understand, but we have to have faith, right?
That's right.
We have to lean into the fact that the Kings have an opportunity to take advantage, even though they're a little shorthanded as well. And you have to protect home court. And I know that's easier said than done. And I also know the Kings haven't been playing at a high level to many people who's been the onlookers. So I get it. It's a tough situation. It's kind of the old phrase. It's easier said than done.
Yeah. One of the things that's really interesting about this early start for the Kings is that you could make the case that Russell Westbrook has become essentially the face of this team in the short time he's been here.
Yeah, and I know you can look at Zach LaVine, too. He had a rough outing in this last game. Clearly, the back was hurting him. But he had scored, I think, 30 or more points in 5 of 6 games. So you could look at him as being that guy. But he doesn't necessarily bring the Westbrook magic in terms of when Westbrook steps on the floor. He kind of galvanizes everybody. But he's just played really well. I mean, clearly, he's gotten stops defensively. He's been good, but then, we've seen him with the 3 ball that has been kind of somewhat impressive
focusing
for
on those
him.
Corner threes.
Yeah.
He's just a very willful player, and I'm sure he's like that as a person. But, for years he's kind of played with a chip on his shoulder. He plays in kind of a stubborn style, which is I'm playing this way, and it's not flawless, but this is the way I play. And it seems like he's just kind of come in. There's been a little bit of a void here because of some injuries, and he's just kind of come in and filled that space. And get on my back. Let's go. This is what we're doing.
And, he was the first one to light the beam this year here. So it'd be nice for them to return after this long road trip. And, I know that they're shorthanded tonight, but like Jay said, the Golden State Warriors are without probably some of their key guys. You've got to take advantage. And I know they had opportunities on the road trip with some guys, out of starting position on the opposite team, but tonight you have to take advantage of being home. You're going to be home for a minute, but why not start it off with a bang? And Westbrook, I feel like, could lead that tonight.
Yeah, Katie made some really interesting points today on the Jason Ross and Christopher Lodge show Carmichael Dave may also hear. And we're just kidding. People go, oh, are they having a feud? And we're just talking about our buddy. But she was saying there was one of the games where Russ committed a foul on Giannis, so it would have been the Bucks game. And then Russ says to Domas, he said, yeah, I committed that foul because I don't want you to foul out.
Wow.
So, yeah, and when he knows he's made a mistake, and I remember one time he did this, I think, against Denver, he's gotten beaten, and then he will commit the foul, but he'll make sure he commits the foul on the floor rather than give his opponent a couple of shots. So he's
smart about it.
in a number of ways.
Exactly. And I just think – I don't think a lot of people, when he came here, they were like, you hear the name Westbrook and you get excited, but I understand you all here have had those players that – past their prime, right? And so you don't really always want him here. But I think this has been a guy just, several games in that at least you could say he's doing his part and he doesn't look washed.
Right, definitely. It just makes me kind of scratch my head to think, how is it that the Kings have this guy that they sign late and he comes in and all of a sudden he's almost the face of the team, maybe their best player. What does that say about where they were headed before he got here? It's not in any way a criticism of him. It just makes me wonder about how solid anything was that was here before he got here, that he was able to come in and have that big of an impact.
And then that's the question you bring. The next question is, okay, was this a total Scott Perry move? Was this a Doug Christie and Scott Perry move? Like, did they really feel like they were missing that big of a piece?
Did Jay have something to say about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he part of that decision?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but I want to think that Russ is not a big fan of the Warriors, so maybe he's got something special for them.
I would love
He does
that.
seem to play well when he's got an axe to grind with a particular team.
I mean, I like that a little bit of chippiness, and I'd heard it so many times, and I think even Katie brought it up on the broadcast one time, is like sometimes you just got to push. Like, you've got to make that move where you're a little intense, maybe, set the tone from the start. He seems to be the one that's been doing that lately and kind of pushing buttons. You got to do it tonight against your rival down the interstate.
We have two camps as far as Kings fans go right now. I don't know which camp is bigger. I could guess, but there's this is going nowhere.
Yep.
At some point they're going to have to get younger. However you do that. There's the other camp, which I think is smaller, which is, hey, you never know with this team. Maybe you make a push. Maybe you get into the play-in at least. For those people, a win tonight would make it easier to buy into that thinking for at least a couple days.
Yeah.
You win tonight, and it's not great, but hey, 3-5.
Yeah, it is still fairly early in the season, and I know that, people want to see them win more games at this point. What I will say about it, Kevin, being more so of an optimist when I cover teams, and I will be a realist too when the time comes, but what I see with this team is they've really not been blown out by any means by any team. The Bulls game was the outlier. I think that was, just for me, surprising, but now we're seeing what the Bulls are early on this season. They look really good. Mm-hmm. So I am curious to see if when they get Keegan Murray back, when they can be maybe healthy at the same time, and that's always a gamble in any NBA team. Maybe you could see them kind of make a run or stack some wins, because they haven't been completely blown out at any moment, but the defense has to get better, because you're just not going to win games with the defense that they've been playing.
And I just don't see how it really can.
Right.
You can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You can mix things up. You can junk it up, play a little more zone. But overall, I just think you have too many players that are not very good defenders, and you see that when so many guys are getting beaten off the dribble.
Sure.
And it's not because they're lazy or, they don't want to play defense.
Right.
It's kind of an old high school saying that defense is all about desire, but I don't know that that's ever true, but certainly at this level, it's about more than just wanting to stop somebody.
It is.
Because it's really hard to defend some of these players. The Kings don't have enough good defenders, and I think it's nice to say, we got to get better and we got to talk more. That's one thing all teams say when they're not defending well. Oh, we got to talk more. But being realistic, it's going to be hard to get much better at that end.
Yeah, that's where the realistic part of me does kick in, because I do see this roster, and it is, trying to force the players you have to play a certain style of defense, which Doug Christie has preached. And I respect the heck out of it, because I feel like at some point, if they give him enough time here, that he can get the right players in. Scott Perry and him can get the right players in to play that style of ball. And I do think it can be successful, but you're in kind of that awkward stage. I remember that awkward stage about 5th grade. I had braces, like there were some things that looked fine, other things though didn't. And I just, you're in the middle. I feel like that's where the Kings are. They're in a rock and a hard place right now in terms of what you think about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Precious Achiuwa will help some defensively. I hesitate there and choose my words carefully because it's not like he's going to, with a magic wand, turn them into a really good defensive team. But he'll be one of their better defenders, and he'll add some defensive versatility, so that will help. But I still think, I agree with you, this is just not a roster that's built to play the way Doug Christie wants his team to play, the way a lot of teams around the NBA are playing very successfully this year.
Yeah, and defensively, you look at teams like just seem on another level, like Oklahoma, that is, I believe, at this point, undefeated. Just everything going right for them to start the season. But with this team in particular, and you mentioned Achiuwa, adding a piece like that, and I know a lot of fans not happy about waiving a guy like Isaac Jones. It was tough for me, too, being a Coug. I loved seeing a Coug on the roster. Right. But in all seriousness, they are about the same age. The money is part of why they didn't get rid of, some of these other guys, and it was easier to let him go.
Because he didn't have the guaranteed deal.
Exactly. But, he isn't, in terms of Achiuwa, some offensive guy. But rebounds, they're dead last in the league right now in terms of rebounds as a team. And so you've got to have a little bit more help on the boards. And guess what? Crazy enough, Domas he's leading the league right now, averaging 14.2 rebounds a game. And, of course, again, he is out tonight.
Yeah, and it's hard to do that when your defense is so bad that there aren't that many rebounds to grab. Let's be honest.
Right, let's be honest.
The Kings, everyone says, the Kings need to have some dog in them. We love Russ because he's got some dog in him, which brings me to this. And this came up yesterday on the show, Kayla, when you weren't here. I know you're, fair to say, a dog person?
Yes, so much.
Yes. Well, did you hear about Tom Brady and his dog?
I could not believe this clone thing.
Yeah.
Did you guys like this?
I think Gia and I both said, yeah, that's fine for him, but a little weird, and we would not do that.
It's a little bizarre, and I'm trying to think of all my past dogs, and really that would ruin, the just everything I've ever had with that dog. I feel like it would just be that same thing, and be like, this is kind of boring, you know?
Yeah. And I was just saying, I think it's great when people go out and you get a rescue.
Yes.
Well, if I'm going to do the TB12 method and I'm just going to make a carbon copy of the dog I already have, then I'm not doing what I could do for this other poor stray rescue dog.
See, I like that. I like that a lot, Kevin, that you cannot leave all these dogs in these shelters. That's what I love when people adopt and, bring them in, even if they're fostering them.
Yeah.
But, we go to this clone thing. We're on another level, right, Jay?
And I have no clue. Yeah, that's would you call it the TB12 method, the avocado ice cream?
No.
Yeah, that's it. That's about it. The size of it. Shouts out to Tom Brady for being a pet lover, a dog owner. But I think it's just something that doesn't sit right with me. I'm with all of you guys.
Yeah,
there is a special bond between, and to rekindle the situation real quick, Kayla. Kevin Whitey talked about. Now I'm all about the K's, right?
I know.
Whitey,
Sorry,
no, you're Kevin. Good. Whitey asked, would I ever do that with one of my former dogs, or who's my favorite dog? Mm-hmm. And then I stopped to think about it after the show a little bit. There's something special with the time that you had with each dog compared to the same dog forever. And so I think it would kind of remove the relationship for me. So I'm out. But hey, more power to Tom Brady.
That's
what is the dog? Do you guys know what type of dog
I think it's a pit bull.
Oh.
Was it?
I think it was a pit bull. Or is. It was, and it still is because they've got the new one now.
Yeah. And I did hear he changed the name, so people were
Junie
at least
now.
giving him credit for that.
Lolo or Lula or something.
It was Lua, right? Yeah.
Lua, yeah.
Okay.
And now it's Junie.
Junie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It is just bizarre, though, guys. I did hear about this yesterday. I was like, yep, my answer was quickly, not going to clone Red. Mm-hmm. Not going to clone Red.
Jay is right. That's one of the things that makes your relationship with a dog special is especially when the dog gets a little older. And I remember this with our dog that we lost recently, taking him for a walk and knowing, I don't know how many more times we're going to be able to do this, buddy. So
Right?
let's
I
enjoy it.
know.
You know, that's what makes it special. But then the other weird thing is that Tom Brady's, yes, this is our dog and we're cloning, and I am an investor in the biochemical company that is it's proprietary, this cloning technology, and they're going to bring all these animals back from extinction. So
Yeah, it's like that's what. Let's go. I mean, here's the one thing: if we could clone a Kings player tonight,
we
what
have
I mean,
to.
could we clone Domas? So at least the other one's out here.
I don't think there technically are rules against it, really. You know, there's probably some loopholes there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
They better be careful. You know, this might turn into an aspiration Kawhi Leonard type thing. You know, where Tom Brady is, because see, you got to keep your eye on him. Now that he's got a little percentage with the Raiders,
Seriously.
all eyes need to be on Tom Brady. This might just be a wiggle way to, pay Brock Bowers when you need him on the back end.
Yeah. I was
What
so
are we
glad
gonna
he
do
was
to get
back.
a quarterback? Don't matter, Mark. I got a plan.
I got a plan.
I'll tell you right now, but I think we're going to get
It's in my basement.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It's the Kings and the Warriors tonight. Jay, can we say this in terms of sports hate? The Kings and the hated Warriors?
Oh, absolutely.
It's quite a rivalry, Kayla.
I've heard, and this being my first couple months here, I still knew about it though. Like I have family here, but you hear about this, that there's beef between these two. There's short drive, within each other. And obviously it was huge in terms of the playoffs a few years ago. But I'm excited for tonight, even though they are missing some players on both sides.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say real quick, Whitey. So the fact of the matter is now that you're an adopted Sacramento City of Trees member, Kayla, you must now hate the Warriors.
Perfect.
And you must hate the Lakers.
Oh, and that's already done. Any LA team, on.
Yeah. The Lakers hate is more of I'll see what Jay thinks of this. It's more of a deep-rooted, old, ancient hate. And the Warriors is more of a newer, more passionate, hotter, like, I can't stand those guys.
I get it. Yeah.
The Lakers is more like we're just natural enemies type of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And who wants to, like Jay says, go to the dentist's office to watch a game? I mean, never in my wildest
starting to
dreams.
get it.
I know, right? I mean, I'm not going down there.
Mm-hmm.
Put me under.
It was just not that long ago, but it seems like forever ago, Kayla. Game 1 of the playoff series against the Warriors, this place was so loud. This place was actually as loud, if not louder, than the old building, which was a little barn made of wood. And I remember all week long there was talk that, there's going to be a lot of Warrior fans in there, a lot of Warrior fans in there. There will be Warrior fans in there tonight. But that night, Game 1 of that series, there were not very many Warrior fans in here.
Where did that rank you guys in terms of that playoff series for you guys when you were here and the atmosphere? Because I would guess it was pretty spectacular.
How about you, Jay?
Ooh, rank as far as in the Panels of Kings history or G1C building or
or
where
maybe
you at?
like sporting events that you've covered in general.
Wow.
Because we've all covered so many different events.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
I will say this as Jay ponders it. Just when the game ended
Uh-huh.
and going through the concourse, the sheer joy of Kings fans that not only did they show out and had this emotional night and they celebrated this great season to win that game, which came right down to the end, fans were just, it was such sheer and pure joy. It was really an amazing thing to see.
Yeah,
Seems like it
I would
would be.
agree with that. I distinctly remember after Game 1 walking to, for whatever reason, I walked back to where the players go through the tunnel, and kind of me and Malik Monk met at the same time. And Malik was like, he was like, hell yeah. He's going wild. So I dap him up. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, Malik, right? And so as I'm sitting here talking to him, I think whatever the moment came over me and him, it was like, oh, you guys just won a playoff game.
Yeah.
And he looked and he was like, you right. We just won a playoff game. And so it ranks up there for me. When you talk about, Super Bowls and big fights and things like that, it is one playoff game, but it is in my hometown. It is favorite team. And so, it's probably a top 10 moment, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the cool thing was that the Kings had so many days of glory in the old building, and then they'd moved in here, and just didn't happen. But that was like, yes, you get this, you deserve this, to actually have wonderful moments in this building.
Absolutely.
It was very gratifying.
And it is beautiful. I'll tell you that much. You guys are lucky to have this here. What an incredible building.
It's a lot nicer than the Warrior building.
I just kind of want to go down there now, guys, just to see.
It's fine. It's not terrible, but it's just not as nice as it. Jay, I think, doesn't like it as much as I like it. The Chase Center, it's fine, but it just doesn't come close to the atmosphere we have here with the hangar doors and everything.
Yeah, it's probably a little sterile.
Oh, that's a great word.
Yeah.
Great
like
word.
A dentist office.
It's right next to the water, but guess what? When you're watching a basketball game, it doesn't matter what's outside.
Like, who cares? We're not watching we can't see the water.
Right. So we're getting ready for the Kings and the Warriors tonight from the Golden One Center. When we come back, since the 49ers did nothing to improve the pass rush, this has to happen if they're going to stay competitive. We're talking a little football. It's Kale and Jade and Whitey, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage. Weird, but still a salad. One radish and a couple of green beans. Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke. Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We're coming to you from the Golden One Center, where tonight, of course, the Kings will be hosting the Golden State Warriors. I hesitate because I don't know how many Warriors are going to be here, and the Kings will not have a full complement of players either. You probably heard by now, Zach LaVine out, Domas out, and for the Warriors, looks like Curry's out, Butler and Draymond Green questionable, and Podziemski questionable. Malik Monk should be available tonight. He's been dealing with a personal matter, and he should be good to go tonight. And that'd be nice to see him come back and share a little something with them Warriors.
That would be good. And I know he's probably wanted to be out here with this team, but we know life is actually a part of being an athlete too, and sometimes you have to deal with different things, but I'm sure he's going to be excited to get back here. Malik too, that you guys know this. I mean, as a former, what was he, a finalist for a six man?
He's a runner-up.
Which I think, Jay, I think you've said he probably should have won.
Absolutely got robbed.
Yeah.
Criminal.
He's been good. He's been great off the bench.
Stick him up.
Stick him up.
If it wasn't for this whole aspiration thing, the NBA would be investigating that.
I think so. Yeah. So good to have him back as well. But I'm just wondering what the heck the starting lineup is. That's all I want to know.
Question.
Just make bets on it.
Yeah,
But we can't.
I are both on board with Eubanks, right?
Yes.
You do you, Drew.
He was kind of fun to watch the other night. I'm like, wait, put my glasses on. Is that Drew Eubanks? Like that pass from Westbrook?
Yep.
I'm going, okay.
Yeah. Jay, he could shove around Quentin Post. Drew Eubanks shove Quentin Post all over the place. Shove him back to the Bay Area.
I don't know.
Jay goes,
I got to kind of see it. I need to see it.
All right. So who did you? Oh, you want Precious starting, huh?
Yeah, I would love to see Precious, but I'm being realistic. I'm going to say Dylan Cardwell.
Yeah.
And I'm going with Neek Clifford. Those would be my two probably replaces.
All right.
Zach and Domas.
Okay.
But it's going to be Drew.
It's
going to be Drew.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I think it's going to be true too.
We will be talking a lot more about the Kings, of course. Bonte Hill's going to join us. Tim Roy's going to join us. And we got Stevie Johnson today, too.
I know.
Stevie Johnson, yeah. Speaking of football, I thought this was very interesting from Michael Silver, who used to come on the station a lot. He hasn't been on in a while, covers the 49ers. Has written a book about the 49ers. This is what he had to say about the 49ers going dormant at the trade deadline. Michael Silver on X. The reason so many 49er fans and plenty of people in the building are so frustrated the team didn't make any trades yesterday is not because they're in search of some knee-jerk sugar high. It's because this injury-plagued defense as currently constituted isn't good enough, with the shrug emoji. And, of course, what caught my eye there is plenty of people in the building. Are we talking maybe about other players? Are we talking about player personnel people who thought they should have done something? You know, fans are going to fan. We're all fans. I understand. I was very upset yesterday. I'm getting over it that they didn't do anything. But people in the building upset the 49ers didn't do anything. That's significant.
I think so, too. And it is funny when they keep it vague like that because your mind does start to wonder exactly who is saying that. It's clearly something, else it would not come out at that building. But I brought this up to you before the show, too, and I know I've brought this up on this show before, guys. You know, Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. There is no doubt about that, especially what he's doing this year with all the injuries. But coaches, as players do too, sometimes they have the egos. But coaches in particular who have had success and just have a way about them have egos sometimes. And I feel like that can get in the way a little. And I'm not saying that this happened, but the first thing I thought of when you mentioned this, Kevin, was, oh, well, Shanahan thinks his defense is good enough. Saleh is one of those guys that can coach and likes to coach his guys up. Was it maybe their decision, or did they just not feel there was anything out there that would really add? But I said there's plenty out there that at least you could have a little more depth.
Yeah. Who was your guy with the Jets that they were pursuing, Jay?
Jermaine Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jermaine Johnson's name was thrown out there. It sounds like, and I haven't been able to, I've done a bad job of hitting Matt Barrows or Mayoko or any of those guys down that way, our guy Rod or anyone that's tied. But it sounded like, from what I've heard from other insiders, that the 49ers did check on Trey Hendrickson. They did check on Bradley Chubb as well. It sounded as if they made some phone calls. They did their due diligence, but for whatever reason, they just didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah. They didn't want to give up the draft capital or they just didn't want to spend the money. And I know, based on what's reported, that they did not want to spend a lot in terms of money and especially in draft capital to bring in somebody who wasn't going to be here next year.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have these certain guys on your roster, but it is hard when you see like the potential of the team. If it's healthier, if they added a big piece, perhaps they could be even more competitive. But again, maybe they just look at themselves right now and say, well, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then we'll figure it out in what we're going to do next year.
Well, you mentioned that Kyle Shanahan perhaps looks at it and says, we can figure this out.
Yeah.
And we're touching on that yesterday as well. Perhaps he looks at it this way. I'm getting my weapons back at some point, and then the offense, which already scored, 34 last week against the Giants, if we get healthy, we're going to be able to score more points. We're going to be able to run the ball better. The defense will be able to help them by keeping them on the sidelines as we run the old Kyle Shanahan family ball control offense.
And that's where the ego part comes in, Kevin. That's exactly where it comes in because he feels confident enough in how he schemes things up. And when they get some players back offensively, for them to be able to do even more, like you said, because what they're doing right now is still without some of their key offensive guys, including, a deep threat and a guy like Ricky Pearsall. I still don't know exactly what that is or when he'll return, but you have Brandon Ayuk too, who should be on his way back at some point. So that's a really interesting point, and I could totally see that happening.
Yeah. It's got to happen, right, Jay? I mean, this defense, in order for the defense to survive and stay competitive, they're going to need a lot more help from the offense.
Oh, no doubt about it. I think that's the side of the ball that we need them to be clicking on all cylinders versus defense. And really, if we think about it, guys, that was kind of what we were thinking coming into the season anyway. So it's not anything different than us approaching the way that they looked at the 2025 season, meaning 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch and company. They told us that the defense would have to catch up to the offense. Now, injuries aside, it feels like, and I could be wrong without going through counting them, and you guys can fact check me, I feel like the defense has suffered way more injuries than the offense just off the top of my head. So 100% agree with both of you. I think the offense needs to begin to score points like we just saw this past weekend, which was the first time they scored 30 points, and continue to, to steamroll some of these opponents and let the defense catch up.
Right. By the way, you guys, and Jay, you mentioned the defense missing way more pieces, and I completely agree with you. And that's not going to flip overnight because a lot of them are out for the season. I was just looking at these stats, too, where you're going to have to depend on your offense. They are -6 in terms of turnover difference.
Ooh.
I mean, they're towards the bottom of the league, that's hard to, at any point, be a productive defense when you're in the negative.
It's just another one of those numbers, and there are a handful of them for these 49ers that if you look at it, you say there's no way this team is 6-3.
Right.
No,
it's like statistically, you're like, how is this the case?
Yeah. And I'm with you on the injuries. With the defense, and there have been injuries a lot on both sides, but with the defense, if you get hurt, you're done.
Yes.
Somebody on the offense gets hurt. Oh, yeah, day to day, week to week. Somebody on the defense gets hurt. That's it. We'll see you next year.
I know. It's like, yep, you're done for. I mean, almost every single guy this year, it's been like, and they're out for the season. And it's their key guys.
So, I'm trying to think of, you guys might be right. I was trying to think of a defender that missed a game and then has
Like
returned.
Bryce Huff.
Huff.
Missed
Yeah,
it.
good point, Huff.
Yep.
It seems like Gross Matos will be back. He's here, so you can throw him in there. Kalia Davis missed the game, if I'm not mistaken. I think Jordan Elliott did too as well.
Yeah, this is a big game, and I know earlier this week, Jay, you were saying that they kind of are playing with house money, if I understood you right. Maybe
Yes.
I misunderstood you.
No, I think you're spot on.
But I think this is a huge game, especially given that one of the advantages they have is being undefeated in the division. And then maybe they caught the Rams napping the last time. I don't know, but I think it's a huge game. By the way, Brock Purdy's still limited at practice, so I'm starting to think, Jay, he's another one of those guys that every week we're going to hear he's getting better, he's working out, but I don't know when we're going to see him this year.
It's a la Brandon Ayuk, which is this is the MO for the 49ers.
Yep.
Right? If we look back at the way they talk about, he might be back next week. Maybe 2 weeks. We're not going to open the practice window. And then all of a sudden, you're 5 weeks in. We saw it with CMC last year. We've seen it with Purdy a few times. I feel like we're seeing that with Brandon Ayuk and Brock Purdy. But until they open that practice window, then I'll begin to believe that, someone is close to playing. At this point, I was just literally looking up. Tricky Ricky P didn't practice again today, so he's not playing. He's probably not going to play.
What is that injury, Jay? What is that specific injury on him?
Well,
it's one of the ligaments in his knee, right? But it's strained.
Yes.
Okay. So you do have to be careful with that. But
I think it might be the PCL.
The PCL or something?
Yeah.
Okay. In terms of Brock Purdy, though, I mean, if you have a guy like Mac Jones who is performing the way he is, I guess better safe than sorry in terms of a turf toe injury specifically, because I guess just keep him until he's 100% ready because you got Mac Jones.
Yeah, and the way it works is, he's coming along. He's better. He's getting better. He's close. Then the guy doesn't play, and the Shanahan says, yeah, he was never close.
Yeah, it's well, then just don't say that, right?
He never really.
Keep him in the basement until he's ready.
Chance, yeah. We'll come back to the Golden One Center, take a look at the Sacramento Kings of the NFL. That's next on Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Need cash fast? Tap into the value of your home with a home equity line of credit from Valley Strong Credit Union. Whether it's for home improvements, debt consolidation, or that dream vacation, you can get your cash offer in minutes. That's right, just minutes to unlock the power of your home's equity with no hard credit pull to see how much cash you can get. No stress, no waiting, just smart local banking that puts you first. Grow your possibilities with Valley Strong Credit Union. Visit valleystrong.com to get started today.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? maybe even restore your gun rights. Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Always more Kings talk to discuss.
And we've got you covered. It's the Drive Guys.
One of the really cool things about doing the show out here at the Golden One Center, as we are today, is that when we start the show at 2, of course, pretty quiet in here, other than, RJ flapping his gums. But then now we've got some of the dancers, and they're practicing some of their things, and maintenance is working on the baskets, and then the workers start coming in and getting ready for the crowd, and it fills up. And by the time we're off the air about 5:30, players are warming up, and there's just a ton of energy in the
Just
building.
an energy.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite part of covering sports along, my career, and I'm sure you guys would say around the same thing, is just being there, whatever it be, the lead up to it or in the actual game covering it. There's just that energy that makes it so fun. Sometimes, maybe this is TMI, guys, but I never sweat, but for some reason when I get excited and you're leading up, I'm like, oh, yeah, well, getting a little sweaty under there, know?
Yeah. The worst thing for
Game
me,
time.
and Jay knows this, a lot of times we get here early and they have youth teams and they're playing, and I don't know if they're junior highs or I don't know how they work that, if it's a special thing. But sometimes you have junior high school games, and some of them are really little kids. And I just can't help it. I sit here and I watch them, and I get so mad when they're not doing things right. And I want to go down and yell, not at the kids, but at the coach.
Sure.
Like, that's not how he's supposed to be doing that.
Exactly.
Or that's not how she's supposed to be doing that. What are you teaching these kids?
I mean, because you coached young kids, and you're like, wait a second. I could just see you. They're out here. You throw down your headset, and you're I could do play-by-play for you if you want to do that.
And I get
as
so
you go
mad.
down there.
I'm like,
yeah.
what are you doing taking that shot? And it's really not that important.
I know, but we're just competitive in different things, right?
Coach Kevin for you.
Yep,
Right.
exactly. I would love to see you coach it, by the way.
Right. I was very calm, very calm. Yeah.
I bet you're a good coach.
Yes. Well, thanks. You know what I found is, like anything in coaching, the better your players, the better coach you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Sacramento Kings of the NFL. Could it be the Cincinnati Bengals? The Cincinnati Bengals are 0-2 in their last 2 games, despite scoring 80 points. In the last 2 seasons, Cincinnati has scored 38 or more points 5 times. In those 5 games, they are 1-4. Every other team in that time period that has scored 38 or more has gone 62-4-2. So is it possible, RJ, that the Sacramento Kings of the NFL is the Cincinnati Bengals?
When you put that in the rundown, I went to it. And I was like, I got to, because clearly last year I'm thinking, okay, yeah, Joe Burrow at quarterback, he was putting up huge numbers.
Jay can't stand Joe Burrow, by the way.
He's a little different, to say the least. His hairstyles drive me crazy, but that's another story for another day. I covered him in high school, actually. So I've watched his career, but yeah, I think he gets under your skin a little sometimes. But this year they don't have him, so they don't have to worry about that, right? Well, since they made the change specifically to Joe Flacco, by the way, who's 40 years old and still playing quarterback at a decent level, I was looking at some of the numbers just individually for him too, Kevin. And in the last 3 games, starting with the first one when he came from Cleveland, 342 yards, 3 TDs, 223 yards, 2 TDs. This last game, 470 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jamar Chase leading the league with 948 yards receiving right now. So just some of those offensive weapons, like you said. But guess what? The defense is dead last in almost every category. So, yes, in some ways, Kevin, I see that comparison.
Aren't both teams 2-5 right now?
That is correct.
Okay.
No. The Bengals are 3-6.
Oh, were they? Oh, they're okay. So
Okay,
they
thank
added
you.
one more.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
3-6.
A lot of people, I think, would look at it and say that they hope that the Jets would be the Kings of the NFL. No, because you know what the Jets are doing now, right?
Yeah.
The way the Jets
tanking.
They spun off some pieces, and of course they don't admit that they're rebuilding. No, we're still trying. We love this. This is great. The coach of the Jets, Aaron Glenn, said something that it's one of the funniest things I've ever heard from a coach of a team that clearly was starting to tear down. He said he still wants the Jets to be a team that the fans can be proud of, okay? But added, I never said they were going to be proud of them right now.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Aftermath of all what just happened.
Yeah. I want the fans to be proud of them. I didn't say I want them to be proud of them right now. And I mentioned all that. I know who cares about the Jets. But again, the Jets are doing something that a lot of fans around here hope the Kings at some point fully embrace.
Yeah, and I get that point too, because at the trade deadline for them, they had to make a decision, and I think they thought we're out of it at this point, and where they've won one game. So do they believe now, and this is all, I'm going to tie this into the Kings, do they believe now, though, you got all these picks, you got all these first-rounders in this recent trade deadline, including crazy Jerry Jones, who made an awful decision, but that's, for another day.
Why don't you like what I did?
I don't like anything he does. Do you believe, though, in your organization? Because it hasn't changed at the top. Mm-hmm. Do you believe in the Jets? They've got all this now, but are they going to make the right decisions? Because in the past, they haven't made the right decisions.
Right.
And you could say the same thing if the Kings decide to tank at some point and to get some draft picks. Do you believe that they're going to make the right decisions to build from within?
Yeah, but that's, to me, that's certainly factually true, but it's not a good argument to say, well, they shouldn't rebuild because in the past they haven't done it
right.
well.
And I agree with you on that, too. And they've got a new general manager in here.
Yeah.
Everyone should get their fair, run at it. And as a fan, you want to be optimistic that at some point something's going to change for an organization. So you're right on that as well. But then there's always it's not changed. It's not changed.
By the way, and thank you, Jay, for sending this along. Jimmy Butler listed as out on the new injury report tonight.
Wow.
So add him to the list.
Another one bites the dust, huh?
Levine and Domas out, Steph Curry out, and now Jimmy Butler out. And so I have to think, if Jimmy Butler's not playing and Steph's not playing, Draymond's like,
he's like, yeah.
I'm not playing.
He's like, I'm not making the trip up there.
Right,
Are you
right.
kidding me? I got a podcast to do. I got to talk crap about Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear that, by the way, the other day? He was saying he's a bum and everything.
Yeah,
I'm
why?
like, Draymond, like, you're an NBA player. And not saying you can't have an opinion, but, like, come on now.
Is he maybe branching out, saying, you've got people that talk about sports that
Sure.
never even played sports?
Sure,
Well, at
like
least
me.
played one.
I mean, I played sports, but not professional.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe he's, but
You never know, yeah. So, maybe
I
he's...
personally don't care what he thinks of Dak Prescott.
I
Doesn't interest me at
don't
all.
either. I don't either, but I thought that was funny. So, yeah, maybe he's not here. So, I guess Jonathan Kuminga. Hey, we talked about Jonathan Kuminga all summer long, so there you get to see him tonight.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Jay? Is that significant that after all this summer talking about Kuminga and maybe he comes here, he's going to be here tonight? To me, that's overblown. I don't think it really matters. The Kings were interested. They never had a shot at him. The Warriors have worked it out. I know there's going to be a lot of, it's Kuminga. To me, that's a non-story.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's a non-story because unless we hear something different in the fact of Kuminga will come, available here as we get closer to the trade deadline, even though we just started the season, I think it's like, okay, it was a little flirtatious. That waitress or waiter came up and you locked eyes for a quick minute and, thank you. You have a great day. And then it's over with. Right. So I think that's where it's at, and then
the flirtation. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, he's playing really well for them, and he probably will have an opportunity. If all these guys are out for the Warriors, he'll have an opportunity to carry a heavy offensive load tonight.
What if he comes and hits us with 50, though? And I'm not speaking that to an existence.
Oof.
Then it might become a story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's for 24 hours.
Yeah, I think the story will be, the Kings should have gotten him, and it wasn't up to the Kings. I don't think there was any point at which the Warriors said, here it is, take it or leave it, and the Kings said, yeah, we'll pass. I think the Kings were all the way in to the extent that they could have been. And I know the conventional wisdom is, they didn't want to part with an unprotected pick, which I assume is true, but I don't think that necessarily would have gotten the deal over the finish line either. So a lot of it I don't think is fair to the Kings.
I think also Kuminga played his cards beautifully in that whole thing. And my gosh, he could be a Academy Award winner one day. Just the way he handled it, that with his agent is pretty interesting. So now he's playing like he's playing. I was even doubtful that maybe he would be a fit, with all the crap that went on behind the scenes supposedly. But I guess it's rainbows and sunshine.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think the Warriors, ultimately, it looks like they handled it well, too. And a lot of us said, wow, they have botched this thing. How did they let it get to this point? Well, at this point right now, it looks like, as you said, rainbows and sunshine and puppy dogs, and it looks like they figured something out.
It really does, and we'll see here tonight, how much of a role he plays, which I would think a big one because, like you said, so are we up to 3 or 4 of their big guys out? Or
2.
Got Kurt, okay.
Curry and Jimmy.
So officially.
Yeah.
Steph Curry, okay.
And Draymond is still listed as questionable.
Okay.
And this is on the I want to make sure, the 230 injury report. I just triple-checked it right now.
Got it, okay.
Yeah. I think the Warriors recognize that they do need Kuminga because as good as they are, they do need to get younger, which is certainly something the Kings can relate to. And Kuminga, the reason they drafted him, they thought this could be one of our, stars of the future. And the owner has been very adamant in sticking to that. I don't think all the basketball ops people thought that, but it looks like maybe in this case the owner was right. Speaking of the owner, Joe Lacob, this was very funny last night. I was watching the Warriors and the Suns.
Yeah.
And they're interviewing him. So you had Fitz and Kalina, and they're interviewing Joe Lacob during the game. And the Warriors were kind of playing with their food a little bit. They ended up winning comfortably. But they did a promo for, hey, right now, call the Warriors ticket office, and you can get tickets to all the upcoming NBA Cup games. You can see all the games for blah, 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 blah. Then they go to Joe Lacob. Joe, are you excited about the NBA Cup? And the owner of the team, he goes, I really don't pay that much attention. He goes, I just want to win the games. I really am not that interested in. I couldn't believe it.
That's actually pretty funny when they're trying to sell this whole thing in season. And then it's like, okay, we all really know that it's not a big deal.
Yeah. I appreciated the honesty.
But you're you're in the top of the chain there.
Right, yeah. Who's going to yell at him, though?
That's
one of the announcers had said that. He'd get a call from Adam Silver himself.
Yeah, saying, we're finding you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The cup play for the Kings begins this Friday night, of course, against the Oklahoma City Thunder. But as far as tonight goes, I like to think that on game days, at least in the hours up to the game, we can put all the talk about should they rebuild, should they do this. It's all valid conversations and interesting, but they have a game tonight.
They do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fun just to prepare for the actual event on the floor.
Right.
We are just so many games in. We're not to the point yet where I think you have to dominate the talk of the trades. Not yet, at least.
Mm-hmm. And we haven't talked about Ja yet. And we'll do
boy.
that. We'll do that when we come
of.
back to the Golden One Center. It's Kalen, Jay, and Waddy, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving,
you've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
All you gotta do is put a drink.
Eric Church is back and bringing his unforgettable live show to Sacramento. Eric Church Free the Machine Tour with special guest Charles Wesley Godwin. Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss. Eric Church Free the Machine Tour. Live at Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now. For more, visit ericchurch.com. Produced by Messina Touring Group.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Like the beam for the Sacramento Kings. We the beam team, ayy. Like the beam for the Sacramento Kings. Like the beam. Like the beam for the Sacramento Kings. We the beam team, ayy. Like the beam for the Sacramento.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We're getting ready for the Kings and the Warriors tonight at the Golden One Center. Kinda. A lot of big names apparently will not be participating. We've got Steph Curry out, Jimmy Butler out for the Warriors, Draymond Green questionable. I'd be very surprised if he plays tonight. Brandon Podziemski questionable for the Kings, Zach LaVine out, Domas out. And as far as the newest King, Precious Achiuwa, we haven't heard one way or the other. So as far as we know, he's available. We don't know how realistic it is to think that he might play tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if they put him out there a little bit.
I think so too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even though he's been a free agent, he's probably been staying in shape. And I know when they got Russ here, he pretty much was ready to go.
Yeah.
That next time that he was available. So I would think he'd be out here in some capacity, but probably not in the starting capacity, like we said. We're still trying to think about what that starting lineup is today.
And they might actually need him tonight.
I think they might with Domas out.
How much will he help the Kings? He gives them presumably some defensive versatility and certainly rebounding. And as Kayla's pointed out, Kings not rebounding as well as other teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
They are at the bottom, Kev, when it comes to rebounds. Even though, Domas is at the top in terms of 14.2 averaging, 14.2 per game. So.
Yeah. I was glad to see them do something to address that glaring need, even though it cost them Isaac Jones, and a lot of fans very upset that Isaac Jones is not part of the program currently, but Precious Achiuwa right now is just a much better player, and he's only 1 year older.
Yeah, he's 26, I believe. Isaac Jones is 25, so you're not really trading anything crazy for that. And, he's a little bit more, and I'm speaking of an Isaac Jones fan right here, he's a little more in terms of Achiuwa. Not a proven commodity, but he's done a little bit more in terms of his career to this point.
Yeah, he was a first-round pick in 2020, and, of course, Isaac Jones was not drafted. That doesn't necessarily mean anything, but Precious Achiuwa is a known commodity. There's things that he does consistently that, can help you. He was in camp with Miami, so I think he will bring some things to this Kings party that they are sorely lacking.
Yeah, and it's Domas, when he is out there, he's obviously about the only one who's able to get a rebound, and so it's like to help some of that with another big man that's done it before. Like you said, he's not going to be, hitting the lights out when it comes to the ball, like offensively,
right?
But defensively, that's what they need to focus on
right now. When they want somebody to help them with the offense, that's when they got to pull the trigger on Ja. Right? Here we go. I knew it was going to come up, Kevin. I knew it. Yeah, Kings fans are very excited about the possibility. And we heard from Jason Anderson yesterday in the B. The Kings are expected to be monitoring the situation. That is one of those classic pieces of information that then gets aggregated and blown out of proportion. When Jason Anderson reports correctly, responsibly, the Kings, as far as we know, have not looked into it. They are expected to monitor the situation. Then it gets aggregated into Kings are monitoring Ja Morant. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Something's going to happen. We did have Sam Amick say that based on his reporting, and this was in The Athletic today.
Correct.
He said the Timberwolves and the Kings are teams expected to be interested in Ja Morant if he ever actually becomes available.
And that's the big thing, right? Memphis, with all the drama that they're currently having with Ja Morant. By the way, this is not anything new. And I am not trying to say, Ja Morant, put him in a box and say, like, he's that. No, he's a good player. But the facts are the facts. And he has had a lot of drama with Memphis ever since he was drafted. I mean, he had an incredible early on, career there, but then things started to happen. And I'm not just talking about the off the court incidents. I'm talking about the injuries that have continued to kind of pop up with Ja, who is already an undersized player at his position. A lot of the injuries, when I was doing my research on this, a lot of them have been the ankles. And that continues to wear. I know he's just 26, but if you're having that many issues, is that a gamble you even want to make? And again, I don't know how much drama they want to deal with there, but he is the face of the franchise.
There has been a lot of drama, and no matter how tolerant you are of that, it's not hard to see his side of some of this, what's going on right now. Not everybody does, but I can understand why some people do. But a player like that, who has been surrounded by drama, if he's going to go somewhere, people say maybe Miami. Miami has that culture that you would think, all right, well, they're pretty rock solid. They would be able to absorb that, and he would learn to follow their ways, perhaps. It's been so unstable here, let's be honest.
Yeah.
This is not an ideal situation for a player who's had drama swirling around him for 3, 4, 5 years now.
And I know some people are saying that they could see it being a fit with Doug Christie specifically being a guy who has played the game. And I see part of that argument. The argument that I don't see, though, with that is that Doug Christie kind of knows exactly what fits with what he wants when he goes and gets a player, hence going to get Russell Westbrook. Like, he's a certain type of chip on the shoulder. Maybe Ja has a little bit of that, but at the same time, Russ doesn't come with all of that baggage.
Yeah. And I think if you were to go out and get Ja Morant, and again, as far as we know, he's not even available.
Right.
But a guy who has been a star of that magnitude, and I get it, he's been a spectacular player at times. Let's say the Kings were to somehow, some way bring him in. You'd have to give up a lot to get him, but that's not my point. My point is, if you bring in Ja, he's your guy. That is the man. That is your young star that you then are going to build around. But as Scott Perry has said, there are no shortcuts when it comes to building your team. That would definitely be a shortcut.
That's a shortcut in every single way, Kevin.
Yes,
I mean,
this
is, you're going to have to give up something for him, too. So if you do bring Ja here, and I do understand he's 26 years old, so he is still in the prime of his career. But we're looking at a guy who, if you're saying, yeah, he's in the prime, he's 26, but this. He's had this injury. He's missed this many games. That's when I'm like, there's too many questions for me to bring over a guy and center your whole team around him, when at some point maybe you just have to build from within.
Yeah.
And, or keep a guy here like Zach LaVine who's, offensively productive.
I know that we were just talking a few moments ago, and you were mentioning that, hey, Houston looks like a team that would need a point guard, but Mark Spears reported, I guess, and I don't know if he talked to them or if this is what he's heard, that Houston apparently is not interested in Ja Morant. That tells you a lot right there.
I think so, too, because they are missing Fred VanVleet, who is out with an ACL, and they're kind of, missing that point guard position. That's the first thing I thought of, Kevin, was like, well, why wouldn't you go to Houston? They have already got superstars there. They're, offense.
He could be the missing piece and put him over the top.
Yeah, but why aren't they doing it?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be a reason. They're like, we don't want to deal with it.
Let me kick back on both of that. I don't agree with and I understand. I see the premise of what you guys are trying to make when it comes to Houston, and maybe I'm reading into it, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Houston is looking for a ball-dominant type point guard like Ja Morant to come in and do what they're doing. They already have Kevin Durant. They already have Amin Thompson. They have Şengün. I think they don't need a Ja Morant. And I understand he's a point guard. It looks good. He's a star. Why wouldn't you go and get him? I just don't think he fits that system.
Sure.
So
fair point.
For that
he also
point,
doesn't guard anybody, and they guard people.
Well, I think even more reason for them to bring him along if they thought he would fit their bill. I don't look at the fact of demise for Ja Morant to say, well, Houston doesn't want him, so there's something wrong with him. Like, I don't look at it that standpoint. You guys could. Not saying it, but with that point being, for me, I just don't think that's Houston's bread. They're not trying to butter their bread that way. Also, real fast, because Chris Mannix came out today, too, and I don't know, Whitey, if you were going to lead to this.
No, I did not see
He
that.
said
Thank
this.
you.
He said going full rebuild may be out of the question, and this is talking about Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies don't want to do that. They believe the Morant-Triple J tandem is the foundation of a contender. They believe a return to health, meaning Memphis already has been decimated by injuries, will lead to wins. This isn't a team looking to sell Morant. It's one looking to use its assets it has, including the bag of first-round draft picks that they got from Orlando from Desmond Bane, to add pieces around both of them. So at the moment, we understand Ja Morant, it sounds like, and we're following the breadcrumbs. He's probably not even up for grabs at the moment until something, a little more heinous happens between both of those guys, the organization and Ja Morant.
Right. I think Ja has enough stature where if push really came to shove there, he would stay and the coach would either go or the coach would change his ways.
So
that's how the NBA works.
That is really interesting because I brought it up before, I think when I was filling in for Alan, and Chris Watkins was on the show with me. I covered a young man in Nashville who played for Vanderbilt and is an NBA player currently. You can do the math. And he specifically...
Okay, let's say the name. We don't want to do it. I'm playing.
Say the name.
Let's just say this. He's a point guard. Okay. So he told me one day he was back in Nashville doing a really cool event for kids because he comes back there every year. And we were having a whole conversation, and we got into the coaching conversation. He flat out said, it does not matter what if a coach is this good or that good. We are the ones, the players are the ones that pretty much determine if he's going to stay or not.
Right. Especially when you're talking about Ja.
Yeah.
And everything he means to that franchise.
Yep.
And when they let Desmond Bane go or they sent him out and they got a big haul in return for him, it was pretty clear JJ and Ja, those are our guys.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
that's a good point there, Jay.
It is a great point. I understand why it looks bad right now. Oh, he's unhappy, and how the NBA media especially. What a star might be available. Here we go, wall-to-wall coverage. But I'd be surprised, if he ever hits the open market. Speaking of Desmond Bane, did you guys see the flagrant foul he committed last night? Did you see that, Jay?
I saw it. Yes, I did.
He spiked the ball in his on him.
And he's very frustrated. He's not playing well, and they're not playing well. And, of course, they gave up a lot to get him. So he shoots over Okongwu and misses. Okongwu leaks out. And at the other end, they throw a length of court pass to Okongwu. He goes up to shoot over Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane with his left hand grabs Okongwu and pulls him down. And then the ball pops up in the air. With his right hand, Desmond Bane takes the ball and spikes it up.
Like a volleyball, like
head.
Kill.
Yeah. I've never seen it. I'm not because he was okay. He was all right. Okongwu just kind of looked at him. I did think, Jay, Kayla, I think that some of the Hawks needed to respond a little more strongly to that, but I think maybe they didn't know what did he just do?
Same
What
here.
happened?
I was like, I would, if someone did that to me, guys, I would expect Jay, you, and Kevin to just be all up in their grill.
Yes.
All up in their grill.
I've never seen anything quite
That
like
was,
that.
yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Uh-huh.
I woke up to all of that. I didn't see it live, obviously, but I woke up to all the videos of it and everything.
That was the ultimate frustration foul.
Yeah.
All I'm reading is Orlando's opening to making some moves. Here we go. I'm reading into it like the John Morant movement.
There we go. I like that better.
Let's start it right now.
Do we want what they have, or do we want them to take what we have?
Ooh, we might need a little mixture of both. White, we might, we're going to start it right now. Who we're looking for? Are we looking for Franz? Do we think we can peel Franz?
Franz Wagner is he's my guy.
Because not giving up Paolo, so right? Paolo's too much of a star to them.
Right.
Can we peel Franz right now?
He can't shoot, but he's a big. I mean, not big. He isn't shooting the 3-ball really well. He'd be a really nice fit for the Kings with his age. He's still young. But I don't know why they do that. So. Yes, I love the German players. You know what? He played and won a European championship with Schroeder.
Did he really?
Yes, they were on that German team that won Eurobasket.
Yeah, they won it all.
Yeah.
See, there you go, and you already got the familiarity there.
We're starting the rumors on the KK and J show. Starting it.
Alan can do it. Why not us? Right?
That's right. This is not a rumor. This is, I believe, factual. Precious Achiuwa, whether he plays tonight or not, he's going to be wearing the number 9 for the Kings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that, Jay, I think that was Kevin Herter's old number.
So, think?
Yeah. Kevin Herter's old number. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, I did see, on social media today that he had already spoke with the media too, so excited to be here. I would think so when you're sitting at home on the couch, and I know he's not just on the couch, he's working out, he's getting ready, but to be picked up by a team at this point, I think that it'll be fun to see, what he can do defensively for this team. Just ready, probably has a chip on his shoulder too.
Yeah.
Saying nobody else wanted me.
So is he, though, another sign that the Kings right now, they are trying to win as many games as they can, that as far as all the talk of, you should tank or you should rebuild or you want to lose games and be in position to get some of these top players. Is the signing of Precious Achiuwa another sign that they are not thinking that way at all, at least not in the short term?
It's always so hard to get in the brain of a GM or a head coach, and I know with them, kind of working together in terms of Doug Christie and Scott Perry, but they're competitive too. Like, why would you ever want to at least admit at this point when you're still somewhat early on in the season that you're throwing the towel in?
Right. No one ever admits it.
No one ever
publicly admits it, even like the Jets. Like we were saying, the Jets clearly are doing, they're like, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, then maybe if they were really just tanking it right now, maybe they would have kept Isaac Jones because he is more of a continuing to develop piece, and you're bringing in Achiuwa that's kind of done it.
I think you're right. I think if they were, at this point, if they were committed to the, you know what, we want to end up in the lottery, Isaac Jones would still be on the team. Nothing against him, but he's just wasn't playing, whereas Achiuwa's a guy who actually helps.
Yep. And again, the problem is what? The defense, the rebounding, and you're going to get a little bit of help with this guy.
Yes.
Because I think offensively, this team feels like they're in it every night.
The last 2 games, they have been great offensively.
Yeah.
They really have.
And the flow, you have all these weird pieces and, in terms of the guards and everything, it just doesn't necessarily fit. But I do feel like they've gotten into a little bit more of a flow the more that they've been out there together. So.
Jay, there was talk when Malik was a free agent that maybe he would end up with Orlando. You know that I'm not trying to get rid of Malik, but I'm trying to do something about that log jam. And to me, he's a guy that I think would have as much value as anybody on the open market in my backcourt. I don't want to trade Keon, but maybe Malik. Maybe we talk to Orlando about Malik. I know you get mad because you think I was trying to move Malik, but maybe there's something there.
But wasn't that was pre-Desmond Bain? Orlando Magic too, though, right?
You're right.
And I gotta figure out, Kayla, we gotta figure out ways to get Malik Monk off Whitey's trade board.
I know.
Like, he is high.
He's like Malik Monk.
Right. He every single time we talk about trade, the very first one is like, yeah, don't want to get rid of my boy Malik.
Right.
But, Malik's got a great value.
Drive him to the airport.
He's like, I'm ready to go. I'll be his chauffeur. I'll be the pizza guy in his absence.
Which it makes sense. Other teams want him, and
They
I just
do.
gotta do
part.
something about the log jam. Like we were talking yesterday, somebody called and said that Keon needs to play more, and I said, well, he played more the night before.
Yeah,
but that was because Malik wasn't there.
I know.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. It is a log jam. We've known that from the start of the season that it was going to be that. And at some point, I think there is going to be a move there. It's just your bet is as good as mine on this.
I love Malik. I really do.
And
I think he is earned.
Why you always lying?
I know. He has earned a spot on a team that's going to be more competitive this year.
Maybe he could just, in general, like you said, have more playing time, make a little bit more of a name for himself. Yeah.
Jay, he's my guy because when I call him the king of the Kings, what does he say? He says, I like that. I like that. That's my guy.
Yeah, but you know what? we gonna have to ask after post game. Are you going to post game? Is that on your docket today?
It could be.
It could
We're
be.
gonna see how things go this evening.
Okay, absolutely. If they bring Malik up to the podium, I need to hear that again today. Yeah. I need a reset because right now, Whitey, as much as you're telling us, I don't know if you're saying it with your chest, my brother.
Okay.
I get it. But no, in all fairness, one thing about it, he is probably, and we had this conversation a little bit, and we've been talking about this even going back to a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Malik is probably one of a handful of guys on this team that has a good value throughout the league. And albeit you see, you can, to the discretion of the person that you're having a discussion with, I believe DeMar has a little bit. Some people believe Zach has a little bit. I believe, this. Kayla, you may believe Malik has a high value. Whatever you believe, there's probably 4 or 5 of those guys. And Malik probably has the highest value in someone that you might be wanting to trade.
And he's shooting the bejeebies out of the three-point ball.
He really is. Yeah, and that's kind of, you still kind of selfishly here. You're like, yeah, we want that. We want to see that. He's been great coming off the bench. And like you said, hitting that 3 ball, which can help this team. Mm-hmm. So, but I do agree. He probably has the most value. And we knew that just in the offseason with all the rumors he was linked to.
Because there's just so many freaking guards on this team.
Yeah.
And some of them are pretty good.
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna mention that anymore. That's the last I'm ever gonna mention that.
we're gonna wrap you up and put you in the basement.
You not
stop pretending.
So the Kings and the Warriors tonight, and again the latest on who's playing and who's not playing. No Zach LaVine, no Domas for the Kings. No Steph Curry, no Jimmy Butler for the Warriors. Draymond Green questionable, and also Brendan Podziemski questionable for tonight. We're hoping to see the newest King, Precious Achiuwa, this evening. Malik, speaking of Malik, my understanding is that he is available tonight, so it would be nice to see him bounce off. I'm hoping my guy Malik comes
there we go.
Tonight.
That's the energy we want.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Or let's just put him in that starting lineup as we try to figure out what the starting lineup's going to be tonight.
I mean, like I said, roll the dice. It could be anything. Or ask your magic 8-ball because we have no idea what that's going to look like tonight.
And we've decided it's Drew Eubanks, right, Jay? Even you want it. You said you kind of went
wild
card,
Jay, are you on
Cardwell, but you said Drew Eubanks makes a lot of sense to you?
Yeah, I think it's Drew and Nick Clifford. Those are my 2 pools.
Okay.
And then Westbrook and then Schroeder and Keon?
Yeah.
Ooh.
A little defense.
They're going to shut down the Warriors tonight. This is going to be a big win tonight.
I mean, guess what? Like I said, the Warriors haven't been that great on the road. And, now you're coming up and facing a rival. I say Sacramento hands them another road loss.
Yeah. I felt badly for Alan Stiles today.
What?
Well, and some of this was Allen being Allen, but you heard him. We all heard him. He's saying the Warriors are disrespecting the Kings by not bringing their players tonight.
Okay. I kind of get what you're saying with that. Like, hey, we don't care.
I'm not saying it.
Well, what Alan's saying. Yeah. Excuse me. I mean, but at the same time, they have all, in terms of I think it was Curry Green, which we don't know if Draymond is playing tonight or not, and Butler, they've all played in 8 games to start the season. So at some point they were going to have to rest. It just happened to be at the kind of weird time.
Yeah.
With Sacramento.
So Steph is sick. He was sick last night.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler had the sore back. And I think Draymond's deal is also his back. But I believe Anthony Slater reported that Draymond was iffy. So, that's going to – a lot of people –
that's so funny, the word he used.
Yeah, took
iffy.
that to mean that he's like, I don't know, if they're not playing, I'm not playing.
Right?
It's Draymond being Draymond, but
I know. I would like to see those guys up here because they are stars in its own right, and I always want to see a team with almost their full,
let's
capacity.
Be honest, that's why the tickets to the game tonight cost a little
so
more
much.
because of some of those players that may not play.
Right.
Right rib contusion.
Ooh, that sounds painful.
It's also not easy to say 5 times fast.
No.
Thank you, Jay. All right, so Draymond's iffy, but he's got a reason to be iffy. Bonte Hill's going to join us when we come back. Bonte is the Warriors pre- and post-game host. He typically jousts with Kyle Draper, so we'll see what Bonte thinks of tonight's matchup when he joins us next. It's Kayla, Jay, Whitey, and we're at the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Dirk Fedorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Mostly cloudy skies. We'll have a chance for some lingering showers. That will clear, and we'll have the areas of low clouds and fog developing, with temperatures dropping off into the low 50s for Thursday morning. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter. So who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635-355.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options. Heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Every time I come around, you love me down. Run up on me like quicksand. Like payback. Do what it do, what we do, what we do.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Back here at the Golden One Center, I know I mentioned that Bonte Hill from the Warriors pre- and post-game show, he's going to join us. He will join us, but it needed a few more moments. He's going to join us at 3:45, and I believe he needed a little more time to come up with excuses for the Warriors tonight. So give him a few more minutes. That's not easy.
I like it.
Yeah, so we'll give Bonte, our buddy, a little time, and he's going to join us at 3:45. And thank you, Jay, for this NFL note as we get ready for Bonte. Speaking of the NFL, Stevie Johnson also today, Wednesday, so we're going to talk to Stevie at 4 o'clock. But how about this? Asante Samuel Jr. has a packed free agency visit schedule per source. This is all according to Jeremy Fowler. So Asante Samuel, a free agent. Panthers today, Packers Thursday, Vikings Friday, 49ers on Monday.
Oh, wow. There we go.
Bears on Tuesday, Steelers on Wednesday. So, yeah, the 49ers didn't make any trades yesterday, but they still could acquire free agents. And Asante Samuel, maybe somebody who could bolster the secondary, although it sounds like if the 49ers are really interested, they're going to have some real competition for Asante Samuel.
Yeah, I mean, clearly a lot of teams that he's visiting, and part of that, when you're a free agent, you get to kind of pick where you want to go. And the one plus that the San Francisco 49ers do have going for them is they're winning games right there.
That's
now,
right.
They're a winning team, and some of these players are like, okay, this is a team that needs help in the secondary. We already discussed the differential in terms of the interceptions this
Turnovers,
year, turnovers and everything. So thinking, I could help that. I could help out a little bit. So why not?
What do you think of this, Kayla? Jay and I were talking about this yesterday. In terms of the most impactful positions in the NFL, obviously you got quarterback, then edge rusher, and left tackle. I think traditionally is thought of as maybe third on that list, but in this pass-happy NFL, and I don't know how much Asante Samuel has left, but a truly elite corner is up there to me.
It is, because the cornerback position, and I've talked with a lot of players that I've covered who are that position, you not only have to be like pretty good to do it, first of all, but it's a lot mentally. Like the game in terms of the smart part about it. Like you have to be. It's like a quarterback of the defense essentially, and so it is important because there's not a ton of really good ones out there. But even just to be okay, you got to have the brain part to it too, on top of the athleticism.
Yeah, with the rules being what they are now, and it's so hard to stop a team from moving the ball through the air. And, there are some teams that have elite corners. It's like you don't throw to that guy.
Exactly.
I mean, that has a huge impact on today's game.
It does. And look at the wide receivers that we've seen, recently, and just how crazy good they are and big. And, these guys have to defend that. And they have to do it without getting too grabby or worried about penalties. It's a difficult position to play and can be very impactful.
Speaking of difficult positions, we're seeing a little preview of what's going to go on tonight.
This is so funny.
There's a guy in a watermelon costume trying to dribble a basketball. I don't want to give anything away, but I think that would be a difficult position.
I mean, because you can't really see out of it. Like they're wearing like fruit costumes and trying to dribble the ball. It's hard enough to try to dribble the ball.
Yeah, the watermelon costume is destroying the pineapple costume.
Oh, it's not even close. I think the other pineapple one, he gave up. Oh, he's shooting now. Oh, not even close.
Yeah, but I don't want to give anything away, but just a sneak preview of some of the fun you can have tonight at the Golden One Center. So the 49ers did nothing, so they're deadline day losers, right? Losers.
Right now, I got to be honest, I was expecting them to make even just a little bit of a move. I understand the Trey Hendricksons of the world. That costs a lot. You have to give up something. But even just something simple to add, to that edge position or get a little help depth-wise. But again, Kyle Shanahan clearly thinks this defense is good enough at this moment, and maybe they'll make a little move here and there. I still think, you need some help. Because,
you were thinking maybe Arden Key, right?
I was even thinking, Arden Key, and I know that he's not some super productive guy off the edge, but he's familiar with the Niners. He's been there before. He can add a little bit, I would think, and he does bring some of the energy, too, which I think would fit with the Saleh.
Yeah, we could use a little more energy in this competition. This is called the fruit race, apparently. They're just trying it out.
It's silent down there, too. I mean, where's the screaming and yelling and,
I know.
bumping into each other?
Yeah, congratulations. So I think the watermelon prevailed, but that doesn't mean that that's going to happen tonight.
No, we're not giving
For all I know,
anything
they're going to have
away.
different fruits out here tonight.
Exactly. They could have a grapefruit.
Grapefruit versus a banana is certainly a possibility.
Exactly.
Yeah. You didn't like what the Cowboys did, did you?
Man, if I have to say one more time Jerry Jones screwing up his organization, I mean, I don't have anything more to say.
And they get an
every
elite
single time.
defensive tackle.
And look, Quinnen Williams, loved him. Actually covered him when the draft was in Nashville in 2019. Great personality, great player. But Jerry, forget what you gave away to start this whole mess, to put your team in the position that they are now in defensively, because you gave away one of the faces of your organization. And now you're trying to make up for it and giving up first rounders. And by the way, they're giving up the better first rounder because I think they have Green Bay's pick.
The Jets will have the option. Of those two.
I just thought, Jerry, here it is again. Nothing's going to get better in Cowboy land until Jerry. I'm not going to say that because I don't want to wish any of that on anybody. But, until Jerry's not the owner of the team anymore. It just is what it is.
Yeah, you could argue that they pretty much gave up to get Quinnen Williams what they got for Micah Parsons. I mean, it's close.
And that's why I'm saying, it's almost like Jerry had to pretty much eat his words or eat what he did. And this is him trying to make up for it. But in my eyes, you guys, it's like it's a little too late for that.
Yeah, I will say
trying to, now kind of gain some ground, and it's hard to do that.
I'll say this in defense of the 49ers, who could use some defense. But you contrast what they're doing with what the Cowboys are doing. It's like, we don't want to give up too much. We're not going to do anything now. And the Cowboys, who may already be out of it, then they go ahead and they give up draft capital.
And that's why I was scratching my head, because I just feel like, let's be real, they're not really in the mix. And I know stranger things have happened in the NFL, but I think we all just kind of know what they are as a team right now. I just don't think one piece either at this point is going to just fix the whole situation there.
What'd you think of the Colts, Sauce Gardner?
They're gambling, aren't they? The Colts are thinking, you know what? It could be our year, and we didn't even know it was going to be our year. Because
Getting
you
back
could say,
to the corners and how important they are.
right, and they've had injuries there, and they really don't even have a solid number 2 now. They got Sauce Gardner, but they've had injuries there. Sauce is elite. I was just talking about how important the cornerback position is. I will put Sauce as one of those guys that's right up there. He's been off to a little bit of a difficult start, but I think in the right place with the right team around him, he can flourish the rest of the season. I think that's what they're betting on. I don't see it as a bad move because everything's going right for Indianapolis right now. They're in the right division too to win it. So why not add a piece that you know is going to help where you're probably the weakest in terms of that secondary?
If I were a Colts fan, and I like Shane Steichen, local guy.
Yeah,
I'm
he
rooting
is.
for Daniel Jones. It's a great story. But if I were really a Colts fan, I think what would keep me awake at night is the notion that once my team got into the postseason, that Daniel Jones would suffer from Sam Darnold postseason syndrome, you know? And we'll see. But.
It's fair to say because this is really been a pattern in terms of some of these revival quarterbacks who have gotten a second or third chance, and we've seen them raise their stock. But then it's like almost like something happens once they get to the postseason where they forget how to do what they did in the regular season.
It's almost like the expectations are low during the regular season. Wow, no one expected you to do that. But then once you get in the playoffs, it's like, all right, now we expect a lot.
Sometimes I think of that, Kevin, is like the pressure part.
Yeah.
And there's only so many Tom Bradys that when the pressure is
Pretty
the
soon
highest.
there's gonna be 2 after he clones himself.
He is going to. I'm convinced now that he's going to clone him and give him to Vegas because they haven't had a quarterback worth it, you know what, in years.
Yep.
But I think the pressure sometimes can get to that quarterback. We look at Justin Herbert even. He's a great regular season quarterback. Once Justin Herbert gets to the playoffs, we don't see the best Justin Herbert. Sometimes you got it. Sometimes you just don't.
Yeah. Daniel Jones, fingers crossed.
I know, right? I'm sure they're crossing their toes and fingers and all limbs.
Yep. We're getting ready for the Kings and the Warriors. We'll get a little preview of what the Warriors are bringing and who they're bringing when Bonte Hill joins us next. Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip, if a firm presents as local but they're in L.A., red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
The Sactown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. 49ers get a win in New York, 34-24. Christian McCaffrey had another big game, 106 yards rushing. Mac Jones also a big game. He threw for 235 yards and a couple of touchdowns in the victory. San Francisco with the win improves to 6-3. Upcoming, it's a huge game for the Niners on Sunday. They take on first place LA. Catch the game right here on Sactown Sports 1140 beginning at noon on Sunday.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed. which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We're at the Golden One Center. I didn't catch the name of the young lady who's singing the anthem tonight, the national anthem. She just practiced it. Get her early because she crushed it.
She was so good. So much
Really
so
good.
that Kevin literally gave her a standing ovation. And that
Yes.
was just her practice round.
Right.
So from someone who has sang the national anthem before, I will tell you firsthand, it is the most difficult thing to sing, and it is the most nerve-wracking thing to be in when you're down there. And that's why, you've heard people forget sometimes what they're saying, or because it is just that hard.
Well, what did you think? I didn't
It was
realize you'd done it.
phenomenal. I mean, very good. And again, she was just practicing.
Yeah.
So
Just warming up.
just warming up. Warming up the pipes.
Where did you sing the anthem?
So when I was in high school, I guess they caught wind of me one day that I could sing, and I, did it on the side. I did some lessons, and they caught wind of it, and they asked me to do the national anthem at an assembly, and so I did it.
A school assembly?
Yeah, a big
Oh, okay.
school assembly with the whole school there, and I did it.
With your background, I assumed you would have sang the anthem at a Titans game or something.
Now I never got that
Okay.
up there, but that would be hard.
All right, we'll get you out here at the Golden One these days. Yes. Tonight, the Kings taking on, I'm looking at the lineup. It appears the Kings are playing the Santa Cruz Warriors tonight. But here's someone who can clarify. He is the king of all Bay Area media, and I had the pleasure of working with him for a few years in the Bay Area. Warrior analyst, pre- and post-game host, NBC Sports Authentic, Bonte Hill. B, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Whitey, until you call me king, man. You're the real king. Come on, man. I'll listen to you. You're right. You know what? I was just telling Jay over the phone. I don't know if it's the Stockton Kings and the Santa Cruz T-Dubs or what the hell's going on at the Golden One Center tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking at this lineup. Is Guru starting a small forward team for the Warriors, Bonte?
Well, you know what? If Guru is starting, he can guarantee a 4 for 19 night, 5 fouls, 3 rebounds, and a couple texts because he'll find something to complain about.
Got to ask you about Kuminga. Of course, that was a huge story here all summer long. Yeah. Bonte, have the Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga actually ended up in a place where everyone is, at least for now, very happy?
Through 8 games, but things change rapidly in this league, Whitey. You know that. And so far, so good with Kuminga, and I'm really ecstatic that he is a part of this roster because I do think he has a lot of value. People are lying to themselves, Whitey, over the last 4 years. Where he did show a lot of flashes. There was buying into the system, so I just think he's a 23-year-old player who is maturing. And on a team with the roster with a 37-year-old, 39-year-old, 36-year-old, 35-year-old, it's good to have a 23-year-old who can dunk on your head that can guard at the point of attack. So far, so good with Jonathan Kuminga. But again, things change quickly. And so would it shock me if he's traded by the deadline? No. Would it shock me if he's a Warrior by the end of the season? No. But I think that is still up in the air. But so far, it's kumbaya with Jonathan Kuminga. But pay attention to last night. He only got 44 minutes in the win against Phoenix. Keep your eye on his minutes moving forward.
Interesting.
We got a shot, Monte.
Yeah. So when it comes to this Golden State team, really good at home to start the season, 4-0, but they have lost 2 straight on the road. Take me back to those 2, and really what went wrong did you see in those games?
Yeah, that's a great question because they go to the Midwest and play the Bucks without Giannis. Yeah. And Ryan Rollins, who the Warriors actually drafted, goes crazy for a career-high 32 points. Quentin Jackson, who I was doing the pregame show Saturday, and we didn't mention Quentin Jackson once. No idea who he was. And we got all the notes and, okay, undrafted, Texas A&M, 4th year, okay, whatever. So for 25 points, 10 assists. So what's happening with the Warriors, you can look at the Portland loss on the back end of a back-to-back. Quicker, athletic teams that love to push the pace, like Milwaukee, like Indiana, like Portland, give the Warriors issues because of the lack of rim protection and the lack of defense at the point of attack. Teams are getting to any spot. Pascal Siakam got to any spot he wanted on the floor. Ryan Rollins got to any spot he wanted on the floor last Thursday in Milwaukee. So you should have I guess you could say, older/experienced team. They're going to be a little slower. That's why they're winning against the Clippers and the Nuggets. You look at those 2 teams, they play at a very slower pace. Their guards play at a very slower pace. When they go against athletic guards who love to get up and down, they press you 84 feet, that's where the struggles has come from. And that's what we saw in that 2-game trip in the Midwest against Milwaukee and Indiana. Those quicker guards got to the Golden State Warriors, and they got to any spot they wanted to offensively.
That's Bonte Hill, of course, Warrior analyst, pre- and post-game host, NBC Sports Authentic. Speaking of guards, Bonte, how come things didn't work out last year for Dennis Schroeder with the Warriors?
Just a bad fit. Dennis Schroeder, as you guys see, he loves the ball in his hands, and he's a pick-and-roll guy where he's ready to pick and roll, and he's looking for his own shot. You think about the Warriors and the way they want to play. He comes in midway through. He's a smaller guard. You have to play next to Steph, and he's not used to playing point by basketball. Just look at the course of his career. What type of guard is he? He's a pick-and-roll guard who looked to get his first. So we knew kind of when he got here, it wasn't going to be a great fit. And the Warriors, to their credit, pivoted off of Dennis Schroeder very fast. So I don't think he was thrilled with being here. You go back and look at his first ever presser in the Bay Area. He was just kind of nonchalant, like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'm here, whatever. And I think he was more to be moved on. I don't think he loved the way he got moved on from. Like, he was in Utah, his family was out here, all this stuff. He just came from Brooklyn, and he was like, wait, I'm traded already? So he was a little peeved about that, but I don't think it was a natural fit. And, to the Warriors' credit, they pivoted quickly. And Dennis Schroeder's pleased to not be here because it was a wrong fit for him offensively, stylistically. It just wasn't a natural fit for him.
for Harris Ruder. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting, too. You were talking about fits, right? And I don't know, like, when Russell Westbrook came here, I don't think people
By the
were
way,
just
he's
like,
the first one out on the floor.
He is.
Yeah.
There he is. Speaking of the guy, this is great timing.
Beat the Warriors yet again.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think a lot of people were like, well, maybe he'd be an okay fit, but like, is he going to, he's not going to do much. I mean, he has really established himself quickly here. What have you thought from the outside looking in on what he's been able to do early on for Sacramento?
Well, first and foremost, I thought Denver made a mistake letting him go. Yeah. I was very impressed with Westbrook in that second round series against Oklahoma City. Now, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a night where he goes 6 of 19 and turn the ball over 6 times. But when you can get a guy who gives you 1,000% every single night, I can live with that. I can live with some missed layups. I can live with some missed pull-up jumpers. I can live with some bad decision-making because you know what you're going to get from Russ on a night in and night out for lack of trying or for not wanting to win. So I thought Sacramento came up on this move. He's gonna thrive up here in Sacramento, and you guys have gone through the roller coaster with them through the first 5-6 games already. You see them against Denver. I bet you Denver's gonna miss Russell Westbrook at some point this season. His ability to still get to the basket at his age, he keeps himself in great shape. And look, I think he's a better mentor than people give him credit for. So I'm not surprised at the least that he had the game that he had against Denver. And the Kings fans are going to love Russell Westbrook. I'm actually a little surprised that it took him so long to sign with Sacramento or another NBA team. There's a slew of terrible backup point guards in this league. And Russell Westbrook, I take him off my bench any day of the week. I mean, guys, look, has he aged like a fine wine? No, he's humbled. He's not the MVP guy that he was in Oklahoma City, but it doesn't really surprise me that he's endeared himself to the Sacramento faithful the way he has. And look, when you can get a guy who plays hard and cares, how many guys in this league who don't care? We're watching John Morant right now in Memphis basically nail it in, basically having a quiet protest and wanting to get out of Memphis. You don't get that from Russell Westbrook. You don't get that from him at all. So I'm not surprised that he's fit in so far this season with him. And look, if Sacramento doesn't go anywhere, he could be a prime candidate to get traded somewhere to a contender because of what he did last season with Denver coming off the bench.
Bonte, can't tell you how much we appreciate your time, especially on a game day. So thanks, brother. We appreciate it. Have a good call. And how many do you think the Kings win by tonight?
Why you do that to me? You got to see, Kayla. You girl, some chocolate questions. That's what I was waiting for, Whitey.
I'm loving this.
I'm kidding, but I'm a Joffrey champion. Probably like a 15-time champion. So I don't know about that, Kayla. I don't care about no game, though. Like the Kyle Draper. Don't you have to come for Kyle Draper, Whitey? You don't do that.
Yeah, Bonte is one of the all-time greats, one of the 2 greatest players in the history of Jockberty. If anybody remembers that, someone used to do a long time ago. We did in the Bay Area. He's outstanding at it. So thank you, Bonte. We appreciate it. Have a good call tonight.
I'll tell you, Whitey, Kayla, Jay, good to talk to you guys.
You
all right,
too.
Take it easy. The one and only Bonte Hill joining us here.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I like y'all just go back and forth. See, maybe if I'm filling in a little bit more here, I'll get more comfortable. I can jab back at him a little.
Yeah, and I was, Jay's probably shaking his head wondering why I didn't go harder there. But it's just difficult right now.
Exactly.
So, choosing spots, and then maybe we'll have to have him back on tomorrow, depending on how things.
Because we were going to have him on for a little bit longer, but he had some stuff to do. So
yeah. It's a great point he makes about Westbrook, pardon me.
Easy for me to say, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if things take a turn here, the way Russ is playing, there's going to be some interested parties around the association.
There really is. I thought that was funny, by the way. He literally came out the minute we started talking about him. That was really funny.
First one out. When we come back, it's Wednesday, so we're going to go bowling with Stevie Johnson. We'll look around the NFL with the former Buffalo Bill and 49er Stevie Johnson joins us next. Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station. Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
They do not know what Sactown brings. When on the low, that's a Sactown thing. Talking about us, it's a bounce out thing. Must they forgot we some Sacramento Kings. Whole squad going crazy, yeah, we back with it. Northern Cali going crazy, one sack winning. If you doubted us then, ain't no back spinning. This is real right here.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Coming to you from the Golden One Center, where, no surprise, Russell Westbrook was the first player working out today. Drive Guys, Whitey Gleason, we got Jay in studios, and we have Kayla, who we found out today has performed the national anthem publicly.
I have. Sorry, I forgot. Out here, things are different, so I had to turn on my mic there. Yes, I have done it once, and I've always thought about, like, if I was asked again, would I be brave enough to do it in a big setting? I'd have to say yes. I just have to practice a lot.
You're a performer. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
I just, I'd be in my shower a lot singing, and people like, nephews would be like, "What are you doing, Kayla?"
How did you feel good about your performance?
I thought it was pretty good. Good enough for people to give me, hey, we didn't know you had a voice.
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was good enough.
Yeah.
You know?
We started talking about that because we got to see the rehearsal for tonight's anthem, and it was sensational.
It was really good, and I'm pretty, particular on national anthems. Even sometimes they get a little too long. She was, perfect timing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't too long. The tone was great. So excited to see her tonight in the real thing.
Yes,
that was just practice.
Yeah, so a lot more on that game to come, the game tonight at the Golden One Center. But we're going to talk a little NFL. Jay, is our guest ready? Okay. Thank you for your patience. It's time to catch up with 8-year NFL veteran, former 49er, Buffalo Bill, and Charger, Stevie Johnson with us. How are you today, Stevie?
What's going on, teammates? How y'all doing?
Good.
Doing?
What's up,
Good.
Stevie?
Appreciate your time as always. We were just talking about this, Stevie. As good as Daniel Jones has been the Colts just made a move yesterday, which we'll talk about. But are the playoffs a different animal for a quarterback? I mean, does he still have to prove, as great as he's been this year, that he can get it done in the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the team, that's what it all depends on, the team. So in Daniel's situation, he's got the number one running game in the league. So he doesn't really have to do much aside from manage a game and hand the ball off and get the ball off to your number one player in the league right now in Jonathan Taylor. And, adding a defensive guy like Sauce Gardner to an already talented defensive group, that's showing that the Colts are ready to manage games. They're not putting it all on Daniel Jones to throw 350-plus yards. So in his situation, I think it's going to roll on. It's going to be smooth for him. He don't have to do too much. But in other situations, it may not be the same.
Stevie, I do have to say, first and foremost, I feel like I know you by now, and at least your bowling skills. Wesley Woodyard said hi. And me being a journalist, I went back and knew you guys played together at Kentucky. I covered him when he was a Titan, and I still keep in touch with him, obviously. So he said hi, which I was like, I love when you have those ties, because your Kentucky days, you guys held it down. Speaking of just, players and right now what happened with the trade deadline, you look at the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, and he just continues to make decisions sometimes where you scratch your head. What did you think about this move? Because I was certainly scratching my head.
Well, as far as Jerry Jones' part, that was a big pickup. With Quentin Williams, he's a great interior rush and an athletic guy. I think anybody in the league would be glad to pick up a guy like that. So I'm going to say that's a win because you're looking at the now product, and Quentin Williams, he's proven. Around the league with some teams that didn't make moves, that's more mind-boggling for me, like our 49ers. Like you lose two DNs. I just felt like maybe there was room to pick up some guys, considering how active this trade deadline was with defensive players. Not only in the interior, on the outside with the Philadelphia Eagles making plays on the Miami Dolphins guys, Jalen Phillips. So, it was a lot of activity out there. And I guess at the end of the day, maybe that's just good for the 49ers. They feel comfortable with the guys that they've been grooming to, be playmakers. So that can be a good thing internally that we don't know what's going on inside the locker room.
Yeah, we're with you, Stevie. I was having a hard time with that yesterday. How could they do nothing? Do you think that part of the thinking from Kyle Shanahan is once we get more of our playmakers back, the offense will be on the field longer and they'll actually help the defense that way? If the offense is better like it was against the Giants, maybe they put less pressure on that defense going forward?
Yeah, I mean, you have to assume that. And that kind of goes into what we were talking about earlier with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
The 49ers with Mac Jones, I feel like he'd have to put up a lot of yards. He'd have to not only manage, but he'd have to make plays. He'd have to make more plays because, we just don't know what's going to happen with the defense now as far as with the injuries go and not picking up anybody. So, I feel like it's a little bit more pressure for Mac Jones to make plays. But, hey, we've seen that he's been able to step up to the challenge. So, at the end of the day, hey, once the guys get back on healthy on offense, maybe they're looking forward to putting up numbers and doing what the Buffalo Bills did as far as scoring 30 and daring another team to score more.
Well, Stevie, they already got one win against the Rams earlier on this season. Now they will host the Rams. What have you seen that just makes this an interesting matchup, specifically the Rams obviously playing really good football too?
Yeah, the Rams play good football. It's just suspect to me because you don't know what kind of defense you're going to get from the Rams. So, it's got a nice offense. It looks good. But, if you're going to play off coverage, then I feel like, any team has the ability to beat you. So until the LA Rams can show me that they can play press coverage and be more physical on the defensive side, then, I don't really see an issue with the LA Rams and the 49ers.
Oh, all right.
Ooh, look at Stevie.
That's what I'm talking about, Stevie. Talk your talk, brother.
I don't see an issue.
Yeah, that's a 49er in heart, no matter what. That's my boy. That's what I'm talking about, Stevie.
Stevie,
Yeah,
what'd you
facts,
think?
man.
Yeah, what'd you think of Cam Little, the Jacksonville kicker? 68 yards, Stevie. How about that?
Hey, they build different. Look, we going back to thinking about West Woodyard. Like that was my first host going to Kentucky, and like when we stepped on campus, we was like the big dogs. We was kind of big, and then when we went back for like recognition and things like that.
Yep.
Man, we step on the field and we got them kids. Deion Walker at the time, he's 6'7" now, played for the Bills. Man, we looking like we looking like pedestrians to these kids now. And now you see like these field goal kickers, they just get further and further back. I mean, it's excellent. You know, I really like what's going on with the evolution of these players and the teams and just the mindset of the overall game in the social world. You know, it's pretty fun.
Speaking of kickers, and going back to the Niners, in all seriousness, like at the start of the year, it was such a mess. Didn't know what was going to go on with Moody. Obviously, he's gone now. But Pinheiro has just been money. And I know there was one kick that barely made it in this last game. But when it comes down to it, he's, missed one extra point? I mean, how were you surprised at all with what he's been able to do?
You know what? I'm not surprised at anything now. You know, at anything I see after seeing Saquon Barkley jump over somebody backwards, mid juke, it's like that anything is possible. And you like again with the kickers. I remember Young Wei Koo. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When he first kicked the deep one, it was like, man, I was 59 or something. Now we got 68. So Pinheiro coming in doing this thing. I think he's a gamer. And he's a veteran. And when you're a veteran playing in this era now, and you're able to play like healthy, I would say, man, it's like new life. It's new life, and it's special. So I think he's stepping up to the challenge and doing what he's supposed to do as far as taking advantage of his opportunities.
Stevie Johnson with us. A couple of weeks ago, Stevie, we talked to Herm Edwards, and he told us he was playing a playoff game once, the Eagles against the Falcons, and he said they had a new kicker, and he said the game came down to this fateful kick. He said he had already spent his playoff bonus money, and he said he didn't look. And he said he asked, he heard the crowd, like he could tell the guy missed, and he asked a teammate, did he miss? And his teammate said, Hermie kicked it in the tunnel. He didn't get anywhere near the uprights. I'm just wondering, you don't have to mention any names, how heartbreaking is it when you do all the work physically and then you lose because the kicker's not able to get it done?
Man, you know what? I was one of those guys. I was cool with everybody. So shout out to the kicker. Shout out to my guy Nick Novak. He's a teacher. He's a coach now at the school that my kids go to. But when they make a kick, when they miss a kick, it's tough. Things happen. I know how I feel. Think about my play with Buffalo versus Pittsburgh. It comes down to one play ultimately. They only out there for a few plays. But at the same time, it comes down to making that one play happen, and nobody's perfect at the end of the day. It's just an unfortunate situation when you do miss those plays, and sometimes it's fortunate like myself to even build a fan base off of a negative play. So that was the blessing for me. But
that's a very gracious way to look. I'm guessing that you played with people who didn't feel the same way as you about kickers when they miss kicks.
Yeah, there's some people in the locker room that, you got one job and they really think like they're supposed to be perfect because they got one job. You know what I mean? It's they're kind of irrational in a sense. But the irrational thinkers get overlooked in a competitive world like that. Because, we're aiming to be perfect. So, there's still two different mindsets in locker room. There's so many different mindsets in locker room. So seeing one team come together and win a Super Bowl, that's great. When you have guys winning multiple Super Bowls, that's special. So, that's what we're seeing now with these teams at the top.
I'm curious, Stevie, you're going back to the quarterback talk, and we just learned, Jacoby Brissett came in, won a game for the Cardinals. Now it's being said that Murray is going to be out at least 4 weeks. There always just seems to be something going on with him, and I'm wondering, is his time coming to an end in Arizona?
Yeah, and that's sometimes that's a good thing. Again, look at Sauce Gardner, him being the leader, focal point for a New York Jets trying to make it team is not where he should be. He's too cool for that. He's not that rah-rah type of guy, so the energy he's given is not going to, help that team. Going to a team with a pack of leaders, that's going to make him play better. That's going to make, his aura even stronger. Kyler Murray, maybe he needs to go to Houston, Miami, just have a new location at this point.
New Orleans.
Brissett looks like, New Orleans, that can be a really good one. I think a lot of quarterbacks are going to be gone next year, and it's going to shake the league up, and it's going to be good for them, I believe. It's time to cut ties sometimes.
Yo, Stevie, you, of course, had the opportunity to play for the 49ers and the Chargers. 49ers playing the Rams, and when the 49ers travel down to Faithful to play in L.A., they always call it Levi South. With that being said, have you ever had an opportunity or seen anything where, it seems like the Rams and, of course, the Chargers, who also play in L.A., they're like the redheaded stepchild. Have you ever seen anything where like Bills Mafia, they travel very well and they overtake a stadium?
Yeah, and I had the opportunity to play for two of my favorites. Obviously the hometown Niners and the Faithful. And yeah, when you see them travel, it's like an extension of when you first walked out into the practice field in training camp, when it became open for the fans. And then you see them making that trip, all the miles, knowing they're waking up at the hotels and they're ready to support, and they out there watching us get off the bus. Like, it's just another boost. And I can associate that to the Bills Mafia for sure. They invade cities, have parties before the games, and it's very similar with the Faithful. I think the Faithful can turn it up even more.
We're talking, of course, with Stevie Johnson. I wanted to ask you about Jackson Smith and Jigba. JSN, I know you had several 1,000-yard seasons. He's on pace to be the first 2,000-yard receiver. A ways to go yet, and he's got an extra game. Hadn't done it yet, but I'm just wondering, from your perspective, what kind of toll does it take on you as a receiver when you're piling up that kind of yardage?
You know what? It depends. It depends on how you're getting the ball. It depends on how the games are going. And we're seeing he's not really taking punishment. He's in a situation with a quarterback that's seasoned. He's a veteran. He's played with elite receivers. And now you have these guys that's evolved the game, where they're coming in as rookies and second-year guys, and they have the IQ and understand how to get open, and you see that with JSN, I feel like, honestly, it's not taxing just yet. With this being an offensive-driven league and what is evolving into, I think 2,000 is going to turn into if you're an elite receiver and you get that volume, then that's going to be like the base in a minute. Yeah, I feel like guys are going to really start smashing that.
Okay.
And speaking of the wide receiver position, how tough would it be when you got a guy like Jamar Chase, one of the best, out there right now? He's leading the league in receiving yards, but he's on a team that just is clearly not winning games. They're scoring points, but the defense is so bad that, they're just not winning games. How frustrating is that when you're such a high caliber player like that?
Oh, man, it's very frustrating. I've obviously been on those type of teams where we scoring 30, but we giving up 30, and you don't really get the recognition. The difference between Jamar Chase, he's already got a lot of the accolades. He's already been in those playoff situations, and right now the world understand that he's going through injury situations with his main quarterback. So, everybody understand what's going on. At this point, it's just about padding stats and looking competitive. I mean, Joe Flacco he's not one of those journeymen as far as this guy won Super Bowl, so he know how to manage the offense.
We don't talk about that, Stevie. Here, we don't talk about Joe Flacco winning the Super Bowl around here like that.
Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is.
My bad, Stevie. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good, because at the same time, people understand what's going on in Cincinnati. He just got to, lock in. I don't think it's too frustrating. It makes me think about the DN in Cleveland.
Myles
Garrett. Yeah.
Yeah, like should he really be frustrated when do you really think that you was going to win a Super Bowl in Cleveland? In the AFC. So why are you acting so frustrated? You know what you was in for, right?
It's kind of staying in that same brand. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's back. He's doing his thing. It feels like, we've counted him out. If you're the Steelers, are you looking over your shoulder if you're in the locker room and said, here comes Baltimore? You like, man, those dudes are done.
Yeah, absolutely. But, at the same time, you're a competitor. And they got, the guy Jalen Ramsey, he brings more than just athleticism. He brings an attitude. Mm-hmm. So, he's going to make sure his guys are prepared. He's going to take those risks and those chances. That's what I do like about the Steelers and that defense, having him. But, yeah, definitely when you see Lamar Jackson playing how he played, not looking like the hamstring is bothering him at all, you got to understand that, hey, the king is back in the division. We'll see how things go with the Ravens defense, though. We'll see if they can stop Aaron Rodgers because he's looking smooth as he's ever looked in the past few years. So, we'll see what happens.
Before we let you go, Stevie, what did you think of what your Bills did to the Chiefies last week?
Yeah, I felt like that was going to happen considering the adjustments that the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator made. In the defensive side, with Babbage playing more press coverage, like I said. If you look back at the game, the only time the Kansas City Chiefs had 10-plus or 20-yard passes was when the Bills played off coverage or when they played a fake man and then they bail into a zone, which is easy for any quarterback to see, especially a Super Bowl winning guy like Mahomes. That's when you saw big plays. There was only one play where they made a play over 20 yards from press man, and you can live with that because that's against your best cornerback. But other than that, it was press coverage, and it's hard for a quarterback to make big plays. As you saw, Mahomes had his lowest output, and on the offensive side with Coach Brady, get the ball out fast to Khalil and hand the ball off to Cook. And that's all we saw. And then the defense stepped up, and then Josh was able to make a little play to Dalton Kincaid intermediate route, and it was just easy, controlling the game. And that's all that Brady needs to do. If you look in the past, Brady would keep Cook off the field, and that was why, the Bills were struggling to make plays.
You said it, Stevie, because when we had you on 2 weeks ago, I remember I was like, are you worried at all with those two straight lines? You said, this is the coaching thing. I'm not worried about the players. And clearly, the adjustments were made. So,
Indeed. Yeah, they listening to us. They listening to us.
Right? Listen to you.
And you're also confident about the 49ers against those Rams this week, too, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at the game and then you see those LA Rams playing off coverage, Niners should have a good day. If you see them playing press, then be like, okay, we in for a competitive day. But I don't see them playing press against our guys. Our attitude is too it's like not, I don't want to say bullies, but we got that presence about us still. Yeah, we got that dog.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens against the Rams.
Enjoy the games. We appreciate it very much, and we'll talk to you next week.
One love, teammate.
Appreciate you, fam.
How about that, Jay? Very confident about that.
Yeah, come on now.
I love it. He's like, we're not losing to the Rams.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's a little more confident than I am. And I know Jay's more confident than I am, too. But that's my nature every week. Sure. Right, Jay?
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit the same. You know what I attested to? The same situation when you talk about Malik Monk. I know you got super, super love for Malik. I know you got nothing but love and heart in your mind when it comes to the 49ers. But you're a little cautious. You're truly a little cautious when you see your team not 100%. And I get it. I understand it. That's why we need guys like Stevie and me and Kayla to egg you on there, Whitey.
Exactly.
You need both. You need the balance.
Yeah, he's like that. Isn't it the sign that's like proceed with caution?
Sure.
Like that's Kev.
Yeah,
right?
That's all.
Exactly.
You brought up an interesting situation when you asked Stevie about Kyler Murray. So he was benched, and then he was hurt, right? Oh, he's going to start again when he's okay.
Yeah.
Then we found out, no, even if he was healthy, Brissett would start, and then next thing you know, he's on the injured reserve list. So maybe that is it. Maybe he's done as a Cardinal. You think maybe the Saints would be a landing spot for him,
mean, if you were going to look at any place right now who's kind of not knowing exactly who their quarterback is going to be, Saints are in that mix, right?
What about the Raiders? I'm just asking the question.
You're not wrong, because that would be a Raider move to the fullest.
Uh-huh.
It would definitely be a Raider move. Jay, where would you see him going?
I like the Saints. I could probably see interesting Jets. I'm not sure if Kyler's the type of guy that works in New York, but it'd be interesting to see for the Jets as well.
Yeah.
Kayla, before you were here, everything that we were told in the offseason, even the guy sitting to your right, talked about Geno Smith and how he was a little bit better than most people believed, and him and Pete might restore the Raiders to at least make a playoff run, get close to being 500, and I consistently said, Geno Smith, no disrespect to Geno, get your money, do whatever you possibly need to do to support you, the health of your family. But it just ain't there. It ain't there.
Nope.
I think I would rather have him than Kyler Murray, though, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler also, like you said, he's gotten hurt a lot. I mean, he has. He's had a lot of injury issues. Hence, he's a runner first. Well, I mean, I know he has a good arm, but you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Uses those legs.
I just thought about something. How about Kyler in Miami? Doesn't he feel like a Miami guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That does.
Yes, he does.
It really does. And their center's short, so he could see over him.
I would like to see this, Jay. I'd like to see Kyler get together with you, work out, in the offseason a little bit. Then I'd like to see him return to the diamond.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, because the A's drafted him, 10th overall or whatever it was?
Yeah, 8th, 9th, 10th, yep.
Yeah, I'd like to see him back with the Athletics.
How old is Kyler? Do we know how old he is off the top of our head?
I'm not off the top of my head, but I'm going to Google it because now I'm wondering. I want to say he's, 27, 28? 28.
28.
28.
Oh, that's nothing but that. You know what that is? That's a minor league guy, a minor leaguer who's been in the system for about 8-9 years and finally getting a call up.
I agree.
He probably hasn't swung a bat in a while, Jay, other than maybe playing some slow pitch, and he's missed some important developmental time. But, hey, let's see. I think we still got room for him.
I think he could have been a really good baseball player.
Sure.
I'm not going to lie.
Where's he fit in the A's outfield, though?
Yeah.
In their minor league system somewhere.
Okay.
If he can hit, he could be.
You'd sell some tickets.
I'll make room for him if he can hit it all. He's got that rocket arm, Jay.
Yes, right? He does.
Yeah. Denzel Clark, we don't know for sure that he can hit. So
put him in, plug him in.
Uh-huh. And you want to sell tickets in Sacramento?
That's what I was going to say.
Jay? Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Kyler Murray.
Now starting at center field, Kyler Murray.
I'd go see it. I'd go watch.
I would too. I'm not going to lie. That'd be fun.
Yeah, Miami, I don't know about the scheme fit, but otherwise that makes a lot of sense.
Hey, Mike McDaniel might even be there.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, remember when, that just didn't work out for the Arizona Cardinals at all.
It really did. And he's been there. Like, they've kept him there.
Kyler's like, here we go.
Yeah,
We're set now.
Brought in new coaches, and it's Cliff Kingsbury. They brought in him to reunite, and it didn't work with that either. So.
When we come back, we'll take a peek at why one insider says the 49ers-Rams game is the Niners' most important remaining game. You may also have seen, if you're watching on YouTube, as we were talking to Stevie Johnson, the great Tim Roy happened by. So we're going to catch up with him as well today from the Gold One Center. Drive Guys rolling on. Game night, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Mark and Tom, the travel guys with you. Time for our weekly travel tip brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. And with it, here's Mark Hoffman.
Today's is an interesting subject, polite passenger habits that flight attendants hate. Things we do that drive flight attendants crazy, like offering to lift a heavy bag. There's a phrase flight attendants use, sounds a little mean, but it's, if you pack it, you rack it. In other words, if you can't get it in and out of the overhead, don't expect someone else to do it. Maybe check the heavy bag. Touching the flight attendant to get their attention is considered very bad form, as is trying to hand over trash before the attendant brings the trash bag around. Grabbing things from the food and beverage cart, no matter if it's sugar for your coffee, is off limits. Calling a flight attendant sweetie or darling is so out of date it's not worth discussing. Don't stand in the galley to chat or give an extended goodbye to crew at the end of the flight. What if you were in the last row and you had a tight connection?
More tips to make you a smarter traveler Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
All you gotta do is put a drink.
Eric Church is back and bringing his unforgettable live show to Sacramento. Eric Church Free the Machine Tour with special guest Charles Wesley Godwin. Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss. Eric Church, Free the Machine Tour. Live at Golden One Center, November 13th. Get tickets now. For more, visit ericchurch.com. Produced by the Cena Touring Group. There's always more Kings talk to discuss.
And we've got you covered. It's the Drive Guys.
You know, we had Bonte Hill on a while ago, and he's very generous with his time, and it was wonderful talking with him. But some Kings fans, and I understand it, they're like, why are you having somebody from the Warriors pregame show on? So we thought, well, we better do something about that.
Who's saying
that? Everybody's saying
I'm about to say,
saying
man,
yeah.
don't be crying.
Yeah. So we thought we better, even up the score a little bit. And Deuce Mason, nice enough to join us. And you're on pregame duties tonight, right?
I am with Morgan. Yeah. Bonte's the best, by the way.
Yes,
he's funny.
Even though every time I see him in the office, he's strutting around going, what's going on in Sacramento? I'm like, well, you know what's going on. The same stuff that's been happening for like 20 years.
What is going on with Sacramento? How about this Russell Westbrook, huh?
I got to be honest. I've enjoyed the Russ era. We call it an era. I don't know. But
I mean, why not?
He's fun. I mean, that's the thing. You live with like kind of the chaotic moments that happen. But I don't know. I like guys who bring it every night, and he plays the right way, plays hard. Oh, he's been fun.
Yeah. You know how coaches sometimes when someone's shooting the ball be like, no, good shot. I feel like that's kind of how it was about Russ. Because, like, Russ is coming, no. Ooh, yeah, good move.
But you still do that when he shoots, right? But he's knocking down the three.
He has,
the corner
it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like when it comes to that kind of move, too, because you're like, okay, they're getting another, like, guy who's past his prime. You know, that's what, in terms of you hear from the outside and me coming in and seeing it firsthand, that was my first thing. I was like, oh, gosh, here we go again. But he's kind of been the tone setter. And I think Doug Christie's even said it himself, like, whatever I ask Russ to do, I know he's going to do it. And you need somebody like that right now.
Yeah, and I think he has the right approach. I mean, you don't win an MVP in the league because you're, like, lazy or something. Like, the guy works on his craft. And even now, I mean, we look at him, he's, 36, 37 years old. He's still, like, more times than not, one of the most athletic guys out there. He's got that pop. So I like that he's here. I think he's probably been the best point guard here, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's been better than Schroeder in a lot of ways. And I think it'll be good for the young guys. And if they go in a different direction with this team come February, if they start getting rid of some of these vets, I'd like Russ to be here with some of the young guys, too.
Yeah, he's been so athletic at kind of an advanced age, it's almost been Phantom-esque, I would say that. As far as
I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Both UCLA guys, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think of the newest King, Precious Achiuwa?
I like the move. I mean, look, Doug Christie was at points where he was playing Zach LaVine at the 4.
Yeah.
That he didn't trust anybody, I guess, to come in and play that role. I like Isaac. I do think he didn't get enough of an opportunity this year. He played 14 minutes against Utah, and after that, it was like combined 3 minutes. He is 25. He also wasn't drafted, or he wasn't signed to a two-way deal by Scott Perry. You know, Mike Brown was a coach when he was first here, so you could see why they would look to move off him, pay him $150,000 non-guaranteed deal, and then bring in a guy that literally can do the things you need. You need rebounding right now. Precious rebounds. He plays hard. Good shot blocker. I think he's a good role-playing big.
What the heck is going to be the starting lineup today?
Oh, my God. There you go.
Because we've been having
about that.
guesses all over the place.
Yeah. So what? Schroeder. I think Russ starts in there, right? Eubanks.
That's what we said.
DeMar and Neek.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you can't. Who's guarding Kuminga? You know, so you have to have someone out there that can guard Kuminga.
Right.
Who are they starting?
That's the big one. Because I mean, we know Steph's out.
Yeah.
We know Butler's out.
Yeah.
And now we're wondering about Draymond.
Yeah, and Pajemski.
Oh, and
both are questionable. So I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Moody.
Yeah, I know. He had a good night last night.
I can't. If Buddy Hield's coming in dropping 30 tonight, I'm leaving.
Just 3 after 3.
I can't.
Yeah. Deuce, it seems to me, I'm not a host of the pregame and everything, but when I watch my untrained eye, I think, gosh, they're just not consistently very good on defense.
Yeah.
What do you
you think? I mean, I knew it was going to be an issue. I mean, last game was so funny because it was like, wait, some of the players think they're in a zone, and then others thought they were in a man. Some of the breakdowns.
Yeah.
And also the size issue is just, I mean, there's only so much you can do. I feel like there's so much pressure on the guards on the perimeter to make sure that they are guarding on ball and being physical, and they haven't been consistent there. I mean, we're talking about the Bucks game the other day. I'm like, they put pretty good defense down the stretch. They gave them 133 points.
Yeah.
So obviously that's going to be a concern. And the other problem is your best defender, Keegan's not playing right now.
Exactly.
Keon not playing enough right now. So that's a bit challenging.
Yeah.
Well, Malik Monk's back tonight. So
That's
how good is that? He's been good off the bench, and he's been pretty consistent in terms of shooting.
Yeah, I think he's had a bounce-back start to the season. The three-point shot hasn't been there the last couple of years, really.
Right.
And I think he was looking forward to getting some more catch-and-shoot opportunities, which he has. It's going to be a little different tonight. Of course, they're not at full strength. I do wonder, too, remember all the Kuminga Malik talk over the offseason? And a lot of people were kind of, I don't know. People are crushing Malik a little bit. So I don't know if he's got a little something in store to go up against these guys and show what he can do.
Yeah, I'll tell you somebody who may bring a little something extra to the party tonight is Dennis Schroeder. When we were talking about it, he pointed out that Schroeder was not very happy there, and he wasn't there very long, and it didn't really work out.
No, and didn't he, buy a house, and then he got rid of him, months later?
It was not good.
Yeah, they moved off him quickly.
The Schroeder revenge game, the Malik Monk look what I can do game. I like that.
Right,
we need to have something because Steph's not in it.
It's
Jimmy's
a bummer.
not in it. Come on.
What's going on with Steph?
Yeah, sniffles last night.
He's got a cold.
Hope he's okay.
I know.
Just kidding. I wish he was playing, to be honest.
So do I.
It's. I feel bad for some of the people who bought tickets.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, not the Warriors fans. You probably spent way too much money on tickets, and they're coming in to, hey, let's go watch Will Richards tonight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of them, not the true Warrior fans, but some of the bandwagon, they won't even know Steph's not here. They won't realize.
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on.
Right.
Yeah, they're just like, we just like the Warriors.
Got a blue jersey, yay!
They win.
I am eager to see what it looks like because there's so many question marks with this game tonight. I'm like, I don't know what to expect. All these different lineups. I mean, we're talking about Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah.
He's going to be playing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He
He's had
just
a
got here.
practice.
Yeah.
He got here yesterday.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you about Doug Christie, and it's hard to know exactly or, diagnose what you think of him as a coach up to this point because he was dealt certain pieces. He clearly doesn't have exactly what he needs to run his style of defense. But what do you think in terms of the job he's done up to this point early?
I feel like it's so hard to judge because of what
It
you
is.
just said.
I know.
I mean, I think he's had some ideas about wanting to have that identity, and it's hard to have that identity when you don't have the players. I will say this. I do think the guys are playing hard.
Same here.
Yeah,
and
there's no question.
When
Yeah.
Zach LaVine is playing defense harder than he has in a long time,
Yes.
that tells me something. When DeMar DeRozan is sharing the ball more and the ball's not stopping as much, I'm like, okay, that's growth to me. So he's, that's what's tough about being an NBA head coach. You got to deal with what you have. You can't just sit around and complain, well, I don't have this to execute. You have to find a way to work with the pieces and put them in the best position possible. I think my one criticism would be I think he needed to trust some of the bigs a little more.
Yeah.
Let me see what Isaac can do out there.
I agree.
You and Max, you have to let them make mistakes a little bit. But overall, I mean, I'm fine with what he's doing based on the circumstances.
Yeah, I'm with you. Obviously Kyle Shanahan has achieved a lot as a coach, hasn't won the big game yet. But when people criticize him, this, that, I always look at how hard that team plays for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's really important, I think, on any level in any sport. When the players are playing hard, that says a lot about the coach. That said, how about Neek Clifford? I know we haven't seen as much of him as we'd like, but a lot of this year is going to be about his development.
Yeah, and just finding him minutes. I mean, that's the other thing we talk about this team. I think that's another thing with Doug Christie, I would say.
Okay.
Let's dial down the starters' minutes. 37 minutes for DeMar DeRozan. I'm looking at the last game. I'm like, all the starters are playing 36 minutes a night.
Trying to win.
And I know, and that's what coaches end up doing. They always talk about, we got to get the minutes down, but then it's like a close game. Like, oh, no, we got to figure out a way to win it.
Mm-hmm.
But there has to be a balance. Meanwhile, I'm watching Denver, and it's like, wow, all their starters in the low 30s except for Jokic, who's at 35, 36. We talk about how do we get these guys more opportunity. It's like, no, we just dial down some of the minutes a bit. And so I hope Neek gets the opportunity. I think I want to see him more, too. We may have to wait for this later in the season with the ball in his hands.
Yep.
I think he's a good decision maker, too.
Absolutely.
All right, Deuce. Thanks, buddy.
Of course.
Thanks, Deuce. Good to meet you. I know. It's the first time I met you. So
if you need Sacramento restaurant
Thank
tips.
you. I do, because I'm a big restaurant person.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you gotta explore. Get outside that station.
I know.
So what they have, a Costco.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
and
about
an
it.
Nordstrom's rack.
Oh, okay. That's okay, I guess.
Deuce will be on the
Thanks,
TV
Deuce.
tonight. We'll be watching Deuce. Thank you very much. We'll come back with the answer to this question. Should the Kings tank? Well, did the Warriors tank? We'll look at that next from the Goal One Center at Sactown Sports.
The Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter right to your email. Get your latest on the Sacramento Kings, athletics, and Republic FC with the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter. Visit SactownSports.com to join.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Always more Kings talk to discuss.
And we got you covered. It's the Drive Guys.
Not that you should have any reason to doubt this, but if you're wondering whether Maxime Reynaud really is back, yes, he is, because there he is right there.
You spotted him. There he is. It's hard to miss him.
Yeah, getting ready for the Kings and the Warriors, what's left of them tonight from the Golden One Center. Yeah, the injury list is long, although a number of players are questionable, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, and I think more so on, like you said, Golden State side, it's questionable. So I have a feeling Draymond, like you said, though, is not going to be.
Well, I got that answer for you.
Okay, Jay?
Draymond is out. He is done.
Oh.
Yeah, he's on the injury report as listed as out on the 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 our time.
Okay.
Right rib contusion. Jimmy Butler, right lower back strain, he is out. Steph Curry, of course, with the sniffles. Just says general, which I love. And Podziemski is still questionable at the moment.
Interesting. Okay.
And for the Kings, you have an update on the Kings, although I think we pretty clear.
Everyone that you've pretty much named. Of course, Zach is out, lower back soreness, and Domas is out, left rib cage contusion.
All right, so we're just waiting on one Golden State player questionable.
Yeah, and then we're waiting on that starting lineup.
I know even Deuce was like, that. He's like, I'm trying to figure that out too. Seems to be the question of the day.
Yep, I know a lot of people have been wondering about the Kings and whether they should, quote unquote, tank or rebuild, however you want to phrase it. I don't know. When we talked to Deuce, he said, maybe the roster looks different around the deadline. That's what a lot of people think will happen. We'll see. But I was just thinking about the Warriors, who, of course, have won multiple championships. Have the Warriors tanked? And you know what? They have. Now, it's interesting because their owner, Joe Lacob, a couple years ago, after Durant left, I know Nick Friedel, who's going to be here tonight for ESPN, I know he asked Joe Lacob, are you tanking? Joe Lacob said, we don't tank. We never tank. Well, okay, whatever you want to call it, they've done it. You go back even to 2012. This was interesting. The Warriors were 18-21. And they were not having a very good season, but their first round pick, it was top 7 protected, and they were in danger of losing that to Utah. So they ended up their last 26 games. They traded for Bogut, who was hurt. They shut down Steph Curry. They shut down David Lee, who was a good player at the time. They went 5-21 down the stretch, and they ended up keeping that pick, and they drafted Harrison Barnes.
Yep.
Yeah, so they did tank. I saw it, and it worked for them. And then you fast forward to, as I said, the year after Durant left, they lost the finals in 2019. Kevin Durant leaves. And, of course, Clay was hurt. Steph got hurt early on. And, they won 15 games that year. It was a COVID year, so they didn't play a full season.
Right.
They were 15-50, so they ended up with the second pick. And then they also ended up in the Durant deal with D'Angelo Russell, and they sent him to Minnesota for the 7th pick, ended up being Kuminga. So all I'm saying is even the Warriors, who've had a lot of success, they have tanked over the last, 15 years, whatever it is, and they've done so successfully. They've had some success with it.
Yeah, and you're right. It's hard to look at a team like that and to think that is what they've done at any point. But you just laid it out very beautifully, by the way, there, Kevin.
Thank you.
And part of that, I wonder, when you are a team like this in this weird spot that we keep on talking about, that you've got to kind of go one way or the other. You've got a new head coach. You've got a new GM. At some point, you got to be confident in yourself enough if you are going to kind of quote-unquote tank. Are you ready to get the guys that you want, that you think are going to be successful in this system, at least your base? Because they've got to start building the base with these young guys.
Right.
We've got a couple of them from this recent draft class. You think that Nick Clifford especially will be a staple. But that's where it comes into play, and it's just trusting the fact that they can eventually do that. Because just like you said with Golden State, they tanked, but then they really reloaded or made the right moves to be able to get back in the mix.
Yeah. The wisdom of tanking in the sense that Philadelphia did it is, and we talked about this yesterday, and people know this if you follow this, of course, they tanked basically. They committed to not being very good over like a 4-year span, figuring we'll just maximize our chances at getting top picks, and then at least one of those guys is going to be great. The Warriors were able to do it short-term, like 1 year at a time, and then they got, look at that.
Yeah.
We got Harrison Barnes. Then they did it later on, and the Wiseman pick didn't work out, but they ended up with, they got Wiggins in the trade, and they also got Kuminga, so it worked out for them. My point is this, if the Kings do find themselves in that spot later in the year where they're like, we want to shut people down, play younger guys, and really see what we can do in the lottery, this is probably a great year to do that. You never know, but right now, looking ahead to the draft, there's 3 guys that right now project to be at the top of the draft who have excellent chances to be really outstanding players.
Absolutely. And I know we always talk about going back and forth with Alan sometimes because he talks so much about, the Kings and NBA specific on that show. And he obviously has his favorite, the Boozer, the good one.
Yes, King Boozer.
That he would love to see here too. It's hard sometimes. I get it as an organization, as an owner specifically, to be like, we're tanking, because you never want to be known to do that. But at some point, you have to just push that button, because you're going to keep on going in circles. And I've seen it firsthand down in Tennessee with the Titans. I've seen it, and they're finally, after years, they're doing it. Like, they're literally tanking now. But it's taken them years to actually say we're going to do it. But I wonder, because we just had Deuce Mason on, and he even mentioned that he's like, get some of these younger guys more minutes. He didn't think that Isaac Jones got enough time. Nick Clifford, he wants to see him get more time, but they're playing some of these vets so much. Like, you got to start by getting even their minutes down.
Yeah. If they do find themselves in that position, again, I think this would be, just looking at the sheer math of it, not a bad year to commit to that the second half of the season, because you got Darren Peterson from Kansas, you got A.J. DeBanson, as you mentioned, Cameron Boozer.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't have, Wembanyama, but you got 3 guys at the top, and I think you'd be pretty happy with any one of those 3. So, again, it's not just a matter of, well, good luck. You got to get the first pick.
Yeah.
If you get any of the top, and of course there's going to be other good players in there as well. So if the Kings, especially if they're able to get anything in return for some of the veterans later in the year, like who was it? Well, it was Bonte was saying Russell Westbrook.
Right.
Maybe you get something for him down the road. They could really set themselves up pretty nicely for next year. And I think that all comes back around to the idea that as impatient as we get as fans, and I'll just speak for myself, what are they going to do? They need to do it now. We need to find out what they're doing. They can be patient through this year, and I think Scott Perry realizes that they don't actually have to commit to anything right now.
And that's a really good point. It's the long-term kind of game of everything. It's not just like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
What moves are they going to make right now? I know we've been talking a lot about Ja Morant and all that, but it's going to be it's hard to say this for fans to have to soak this in. It's going to be kind of a process of how this is probably going to unfold. Right now, I think they're still trying to win games, but at some point, when do you start to make the other move?
Yeah, and the bottom line is it's just unavoidable. You have to get younger. And like you said, you want to get off that hamster wheel, but also you just have to get younger players, and you have to find those next foundational pieces.
Especially in the NBA nowadays. Yeah. We're seeing the Wembanyama's and everything, and what's great about the NBA is if you can hit on that one, if you've got that top 3 pick of
number
some
30
sort.
for the other team who's not here tonight, but example.
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Like, look at what he's done to kind of change the organization.
Yes.
And then they've kind of been able to bring in and draft, and it's worked. So.
Yep. So maybe that's the way the season will turn later on, but right now they're trying to win tonight against the Warriors, right? So we can at least, during these games, we know that the Kings have been very competitive. We can just forget about that. And let's win a game tonight against the Blue Warriors.
I mean, hand the Warriors their 3rd straight road loss. Like, go ahead and do that tonight.
When we come back, the great Tim Roy's going to join us. And yes, he is the voice of the Warriors, but he used to do Kings games. He was a broadcast legend in Sacramento. He's a broadcast legend in Northern California. So we always appreciate the chance to catch up with Tim Roy, and he joins us next as we get ready for the Kings and the Warriors from the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Sactown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. 49ers get a win in New York, 34-24. Christian McCaffrey had another big game, 106 yards rushing. Mac Jones also a big game. He threw for 235 yards and a couple of touchdowns in the victory. San Francisco with the win improves to 6-3. Upcoming, it's a huge game for the Niners on Sunday. They take on first place LA. Catch the game right here on Sactown Sports 1140, beginning at noon on Sunday.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Need cash fast? Tap into the value of your home with a home equity line of credit from Valley Strong Credit Union. Whether it's for home improvements, debt consolidation, or that dream vacation, you can get your cash offer in minutes. That's right, just minutes to unlock the power of your home's equity with no hard credit pull to see how much cash you can get. No stress, no waiting. Just smart local banking that puts you first. Grow your possibilities with Valley Strong Credit Union. Visit valleystrong.com to get started today.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Hello. Yes, we're coming to you from the Golden One Center. Yeah, we have Kayla Anderson with us, of course. You're welcome to sit. Yeah, nice enough to join us. We got the G-Man up here. We're right on the G-Man's business here. Sorry about that, G-Man. The one and only Tim Roy is joining us. How long you been doing the Warriors games?
Oh, man. This is the 31st season with the Warriors, 37 counting my 6 years here. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How about that?
I got to sit next to the G-Man for 6 years and learned how to do an NBA game. So, just like that.
Nobody better to learn from us.
Oh, absolutely.
Huh? Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Let me ask you about the Jonathan Kuminga situation. After all the tumult of the summer, we were talking with Bonte about this earlier today. Have the Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga ended up in what appears to be, for all parties involved, a happy place?
Yeah, I think so. The fact they signed him to a 2-year deal gives him some security. That's not hanging over his head like it was all last year. And I think he's kind of realized that he needs to do some other things with his game. If he wants to get the player he wants to be, he gets the contracts he wants in the future.
Opening night was one of the best games I've ever seen him play.
He's rebounding at a career-high rate. He's moving the ball. He's making quick decisions. And I'm happy for him. He looks very calm out there. Where last year I thought at times he looked like he was a little anxious, a little nervous. But he looks very calm, and I'm really happy for him. You know, the other part is that he hasn't played all that much basketball. You know, I mean, when he got to the Warriors, he had played a handful of games for G League Ignite. Hadn't played college ball. Had bounced around to 4 different high schools and numerous AAU
Wasn't
teams.
Jalen Green his teammate?
Jalen Green was a teammate, yes, at G League, the now defunct G League. May it rest in peace. So I think we kind of overestimated how much he was going to adapt to the NBA and didn't give him enough rope, if you will. So I think he's in a good spot right now.
Yeah, say hello to Kayla.
Hi, Tim.
Hi.
I know.
Kaylee?
Nice at Kayla.
Kayla.
Nice to meet you down there.
And where are you from, Kayla?
I'm originally from Spokane, Washington.
Oh, wow.
But I just came over from Nashville, where I spent 8 years.
Do you have a picture of you standing next to the Bing Crosby statue?
Of course.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
You know, all is what is music,
yes,
there. So, but I'm happy to be here, and this is my first Golden State, obviously, Kings matchup. I know you guys have some players out tonight, but in terms of Jimmy Butler, what have you liked since he's come over to Golden State? You know, in terms of he's been available, he's been good.
He's been very good, and he's perfect for this team because he gives the Warriors what they lacked. Golden State would run into spells without Steph Curry on the floor where they could not get any action going, and Jimmy does that. He gets the ball at the low post, and he orchestrates the whole offense from there. And they cut, they set screens, they do different things, and if he gets into trouble, he gets himself to the free throw line, which was another place where the Warriors were very deficient. And they went from being one of the worst free throw teams in terms of getting to the line, and when Jimmy got there, all of a sudden they were in the top 5. And that makes a big difference, especially when you have the best shooter of all time on your roster. And you get him to the line in the bonus, and, that's gold for you. It's found money. So
Tim, tell us about Buddy Hield. He had a love-hate relationship with fans here. You mentioned Steph Curry. I know there was talk that when he was first brought here for DeMarcus Cousins, and some people in ownership might have looked at him as maybe the next Steph Curry, but it looks like he has found a home with you guys.
Yeah, he's really relaxed, and again, he's been around the block a few times. He's been with a number of teams, so I think he understands a good situation when he finds it, and Steph takes a lot of pressure off him. He doesn't have to hunt shots. If he's on the floor with Steph, and we've seen this a million times with Klay Thompson, if they run that little floppy action and Buddy's on that, then the two guys, you can hear the wheels spinning. Okay, I'm on Curry. I can't leave him, but that's Buddy Hield going by. And then the guy guarding Buddy is, I can't leave Steph. And all of a sudden, Buddy's wide open on the wing, and he gets a wide open 3. So I think he's found a comfort zone here, and he and Jimmy Butler have this unbelievable relationship. They're like an old married couple, constantly getting on each other.
Like you and Jim Barnett.
Oh, yes. JB and I, it was like that for years. But I miss JB. He, so they add a certain levity, which I think you need in a locker room. You need to have a couple of guys who relieve all the pressure and don't make it like it's a big deal. So, man, you get popcorn delivered to you.
Look at you.
Unbelievable.
Thank you, Jay.
Very nice.
Wow.
It smelled very good. From the outside looking in, when the Kings brought in Russell Westbrook, what was your initial thoughts, and have you been surprised at all by kind of how he set the tone?
Well, I think when they brought in Dennis Schroeder, that's a point guard. You need a point guard, and this team needed one. And so then you bring in Westbrook. Well, that's insurance. He's a backup point guard if you want it. But the thing that impressed me about Russ was his play last year in Denver, because he went in and said, this is Nikola Jokic's team. Jamal Murray's going to score. Porter Jr. is going to take some shots. Gordon's got to get his share. And so he did a lot of things for Denver that they needed him to do, a lot of little things, screening, defending, passing the ball, which he does so well. So I think it wasn't a bad acquisition at all, because I think, Russ is at a point in his career, I think, where he wants to win. He's got more, money than he could ever have dreamed of. He's got the accolades. We all know what a guy he was, back in his prime when he was filling the stat sheet up every night. So I think he wants to win. So I think he'll do those things to win. And, and he wants to keep playing. I think if you had told me 10 years ago they signed a guard at that age, I'd say, what are they doing? But guys are playing till they're 40 now. They're taking care of themselves so much better. So I think it was a good signing for them, and he's a versatile player, as you guys have found out as well. You can play him at a couple different positions.
Mm-hmm.
The great Tim Roy with us, and I hope people don't mind me shifting gears a little bit here, Tim, but I know you're a fan. I'm just wondering what you thought of the great World Series that we just enjoyed.
Wow, that was crazy. I thought for a while, Game 7 reminded me, I'm going to show my age here, reminded me of Game 6 in 75 when I was a kid. And
Fenway.
The Red Sox played the Reds at Fenway, and it was back and forth, and all of a sudden you have a guy, Bernie Carbo, hit a pinch hit home run for Boston. He was a first-round draft pick of the Reds.
Yeah.
And he hits this home run to tie the game. The Reds go back up, and Carlton Fisk gets the one where he's jumping up and down. And it reminded me of that. And so many little things, even going back to the end of Game 6. If it's a better read by the base runner, maybe we're not even talking about Game 7. I thought it was really good. I thought both teams had great moments and moments they want to forget. But that makes a great World Series. I thought it was a great series.
Yeah, Kayla's from Seattle, so she's still not
it was a sore subject. But what I wanted to ask, though, on that, though, is it got great ratings in terms of especially, the World Series final. I mean, for baseball, that's good to see, though, because we've kind of seen in the past it's gone a little bit down. I feel like it's revived right now.
Well, they're trying to do things to attract a wider audience, and having a series like that will do that. I thought the pitch clock was big because now, when my kids were in their teens, and they're much older now, but when they were in their teens and their friends would come over, nobody talked baseball.
Yep.
Nobody said, "Hey, did you see the Giants game last night? Did you watch the A's game?" And so that was interesting to me because, when I was a kid, that's, we talked baseball. We looked at the averages. We played Stratomatic, whatever it was. And so I think they're trying to get that audience back. And I think by speeding up the tempo of the game will help that. Too many of those, 5-hour Boston, New York games that, go like 2 a.m. East Coast time. So I think they're trying, and I think they've got a lot of work to do. There's a lot more competition for the entertainment eyes now than there ever has been, whether it be a podcast or social media or streaming. So I think all Major League sports, NBA included, they have to stay ahead of the game. They cannot fall behind because if you fall behind, it's going to take you a while to get back up.
Good point.
Thank you, Tim, for indulging my baseball question. As far as the basketball game tonight, and I know it's difficult to answer because both teams are shorthanded, what would you say about this Kings team? And we don't even know who the starting lineup is, but that might concern the Warriors the most.
DeMar DeRozan, last year, 26 points a game against the Warriors, shooting 57%. He is on the Warrior all-time opponent team. Yeah. And he does it. DeMar is kind of like last night we saw Devin Booker with the Phoenix Suns. You take both those guys, doctor up the highlights however you want, put it in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, and those guys would fit right in. They know how to play. They know how to get their shot, and they don't have to stand at the three-point line to score a bucket. And so DeMar DeRozan, to me, is a big key. And for the Warriors, where are they going to get their scoring? You're losing Steph, you're losing Jimmy. Draymond, though he's not a scorer, he is a facilitator. Yeah. And so where are they going to get those points from, and how are they going to get that? If the Warriors are walking the ball up the floor tonight, then I think they're going to have some problems because I don't think they have that guy. Kuminga might be that guy. I don't know if he's there yet.
Were you surprised at all with the Kuminga situation and all the stuff that went on in this offseason, trade rumors? Were you surprised with how well he handled it in terms of coming back? And it feels like everything was good. Because we're thinking here, we're like, oh, there's going to be bad blood.
Right.
But it looks like it was like, all right, that's behind me.
Steph Curry, well, first of all, when you have Steph Curry in your locker room, he sets the tone.
Okay.
So he's not going to hold a grudge on a guy like that. And he said something very interesting when they asked him about it. He said, I'll believe it when I hear it from the player, not from an agent, not from a reporter, not from a report. He goes, I'll believe it from the player. So I think they're all corporations unto themselves. So I think they thought, okay, he's just trying to make a deal. And so he made his deal and he came back. And, athletes are very good at blocking stuff out when they want to. And I think that's what happened here. The other thing was in the summer, I kept saying, God, well, there's a lot of commotion over this. It's just one guy. And then I realized the new CBA doesn't allow for a lot of free agency. And so there was only a handful of free agents after the dust settled from the trades. It was like, you're going to talk Josh Giddey and Jonathan Kuminga all summer long. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's what happened here.
Yeah. Tim, the one thing that stood out to me watching Kuminga early on this season, I know we touched on this when we first started this conversation, from opening night, it just seemed like he was playing more Warrior basketball than he used to. For whatever reason, he decided he understood it, whatever. It's like, wow, he's actually playing the way Steve Kerr is, in my opinion, always wanted him to play.
And I think part of that is he set himself up for his future. He now knows that, he can go out and command the kind of contracts that he's going to want in the future. So I think now he's saying, okay, what do I need to do now? I need to play well. Whether it be in Golden State in 3 years or somewhere else, I need to show people I can play the whole game. And I think that's what he's doing right now. It's just relaxing and playing the whole game. So,
And he's actually, by doing that, he's also showing diversity of his skills, if you will, too.
He's down there talking to Leandro Barbosa right at midcourt down there. We beat championship.
Yeah, you could talk to him all
Love
the time.
Leandro.
He came here.
Oh, he's one of my favorites.
When it
Such
comes
a sweet guy.
to the Kings' young players, and we're seeing Neek was out a little bit, but he's back. Neek Clifford, what have you seen just from the small amount of film you've seen on him? Because he's liked here.
Yeah, he's liked here, and I think he's like, he's like kind of like Jonathan was as a rookie. He's showing you flashes, right? Now you gotta. I think what would be nice is if they can get him somehow, find a way to give him consistent minutes and watch the growth. There's going to be 2 games where he's great, and then he's got to take a step back one game, and so that's what you have to do with a young team. It's really weird, because I was thinking about this, getting ready for this game. I think, oh, well, the Kings are a young team. Well, wait a minute. They got this guy, they got that guy, they got this guy. It's kind of weird. They have some young pieces, but it's really a veteran squad. And I think, they have, I think, pieces and ways to move forward. And I think it's going to be very important for them this year to figure out how they want to do that.
Mm-hmm. Tim, I just want to ask you before we let you go. I know you're busy, and we really appreciate your time as you're getting ready for a broadcast. Looking back on your time here covering the Kings,
Cedric Toney, he was my favorite word. No,
he was your favorite? Okay.
No, sorry.
Well, what stands out? What do you remember the most? And obviously, the teams didn't win a lot of games, but the great Jerry Reynolds was coach for some of those years. What do you remember the most about those old years, those long time ago games in the old barn?
I just remember the fan base. I remember how I have a book. I used to do you don't know this, Kayla. I used to do a post-game show, like if there's a bar up here. I used to do it in a bar at Arco.
Oh, cool.
And at the Skylight Lounge?
Skylight
cool.
Lounge.
Yes,
and we made up Lounge Lizard T-shirts and the whole bit. And we would go up there, and they would have gotten blown out by Akeem and the Rockets. And the place is packed.
Oh, wow.
And we had this group of people sitting in front, and they were there every night, no matter what the score was. If they won, they lost, no matter how bad it was. They were there every night. I had to give my statistician a wireless mic at one point so he could walk around and get questions from the crowd as well as calls, right? And so those people gave me a book of photographs one year, and it was amazing how passionate they were. It was amazing how much fun they were having because it was still brand new. It was only about 3 years in, and it was just fabulous. I remember those days fondly, and I come back here. It always brings back a lot of memories. I always get to see a lot of people I haven't seen, and so it's always pretty cool. The only thing I wish I had done, and I didn't know they were going to do that, I wish I had gone up to Arco before they tore it down and snuck out a seat somewhere.
Yeah, right?
It was the first game I ever did an NBA game in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We might be able to help you with that. Seriously.
Really?
Wait, we
have
seats.
Some. We have many.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's we
can barter. We can barter that.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. We can definitely. But the relationship between Sacramento and the Kings is so special, and to me, that's even kind of what makes the Beam so special. It's totally different than you in the Skylight Lounge.
Yeah.
But to me, it is an extension, an expression, I should say, of that relationship.
And, the other part is that we had it there for about 2 years. We need to bottle that up and keep it going was that, for all the years the Kings have been in Northern California, there's only been a couple of years where both teams were pretty good. And so we need to get that back. Because that playoff series, that was nuts. Game 7 was a day game, right? And I decided, no, I'm not going to drive. I'm thinking too much. So I got on the train in Solano County, took the train across over here. It's a 2-block walk. I took the train to the game, came over, did the game, took the train back home. So it was like, okay, I can relax
awesome.
now. Yeah. So, you can't do that in just about any place in the NBA. Maybe New York and Brooklyn, maybe New York and Philly, but nowhere else. It was so cool to have that series. And what a great, I know it didn't end great for Sacramento, but, think about the Warriors won here in Game 5. And they went back home. Everybody's thinking, this thing's over, right?
Yep.
No. They came back and smacked them.
Yep.
Right.
So,
we
it was
just talking about
series.
especially Game 1 here. The old building got so loud, but this building got maybe as loud as the old barn before Game 1.
It was, it was. And that's what, the great thing, the Warriors brought the NBA to Northern California, and the Kings have cemented it because now you've got these two passionate fan bases within 2 hours of each other. And it's just great for the league. These franchises, there was a time where maybe the Kings were going to move. They'll never move out of Sacramento. And the Warriors are in the Bay forever. So it's great.
Thank you,
Great
Tim.
stuff. Oh,
Yeah,
always
nice to meet you, Tim.
Nice to meet you, Kayla.
We'll set you up with that, the Arco. We got a lot of that stuff.
Meet somewhere in a darkened night.
Yeah, right. Pass it off.
I'll be the guy carrying the
Yeah, exactly.
the seed on my back.
You got the thing?
Yeah. The great Tim Roy. We always appreciate it as we get ready for the Warriors and the Kings. Yeah, he's been here a long time. Yeah,
There's some great
one of the real
stories
special
there.
ones here.
Yeah. I like what Tim just said about going back to this rivalry and hopefully getting it back to what it was in the playoff series, because I will say this, being a proud West Coast person, when you do have these teams over here doing what they're doing at that level, it gets talked about over on the East Coast. Look, the East Coast is 3 hours behind or ahead of us, and sometimes the love you don't get as much over here unless it's the Lakers.
Right.
So it's cool, like what he said about that, if they can get it back to both these teams kind of being right back up there.
I think that's one thing that, if we're being honest here, and I don't want to get negative, but a lot of Kings fans, we don't like the Warriors. The Warriors kind of look down at us in a lot of ways. But one thing I think we're really resentful of as far as the Warriors go is they have been at a high level for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, they aren't quite the team they were when they won even that last championship in 22. But the Kings, you go back to that series against the Warriors, and we thought, here we go.
Yeah.
After all these years of wandering in the wilderness, the Kings are back, and it didn't last long at all.
It didn't.
Where Steve Kerr has been there forever.
It's been consistent.
Yeah.
Even when you said, Kevin, when you brought up the whole thing about tanking in certain parts, you wouldn't know it because the overall body of work has been so good for so long. But that's what's hard, is like it takes a lot of time, and I feel like Kings fans have been really patient, and they just want to find that consistent success.
Right.
I get that.
That's another thing that's so hard right now is you take a cold, hard look at things, and we're probably going to have to be patient for a while longer. No one's saying that. They know better than to say it, but it's the reality of it. And for a lot of fans, it's like, really?
Yeah. We've already done this.
But I think once the Kings start heading in that direction, and I think we saw that even this summer when they brought in Nick Clifford in the draft and Maxime Reynaud. People got genuinely excited. It's like, okay, I can get behind that.
Exactly. And they've got to do that a couple more times to really get that base like I keep talking about. And then make some moves here. I mean, it's all just it's a game of making pieces fit. And now you've got a new GM and a coach that you're hoping you're trusting in them doing that.
Yeah, so we got the Kings and the Golden State Warriors, or at least, some of them. Some of them tonight. Both teams a little short-handed, but it always is special, especially for Kings fans, when these teams get together. And that's another part of the rivalry that is a little annoying for us. The Warriors, at least, they will act, and Warrior fans will act like the Kings don't really matter to us that much.
Of course.
Whereas the Warriors do matter to Kings fans, and that's why that series was so special, because we definitely had their full attention.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like you said, thought Game 5, it was like, oh, whatever, and then it got pushed to, the ultimate end, but it didn't end in the right way for Sacramento. But, hoping one day it can. But, again, you have to have the patience of building. And this is what they're going to have to start to do at some point, play some of these younger players, get them some more minutes. Nick Clifford, we keep talking about him, seeing him get a little bit more, because that's what you got to do. You got to throw him out there and let him make mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do sometimes.
Yes, it is. Without Zach LaVine tonight, maybe Nick Clifford will have a few more opportunities to show what he can do offensively. I'm not saying that he's going to take Zach LaVine's role or anything, but the Kings will be looking for some scoring tonight. And one of the highlights of the Beam Team era, they lost that series to the Warriors that year, that 7-game series. But the very next year, right here, the Kings eliminated the Warriors. They knocked them out in a play-in game.
Yep. Before
the Kings were then eliminated when they lost to New Orleans. But the Kings knocked the Warriors out of playoffs. That was big.
Hey, you got to smile a little bit. It's the small things, right? Like, let them add up. And we keep talking about opportunities early on this season, and I know they've missed some of them on the road. with players being out on some of these teams. Well, tonight is another opportunity. And all you can think about right now is, I'm in coach speak, Kayla, but winning the next game. That's at home tonight. You return home. You want to give fans something to see, and I know they don't have, 3 of their guys in tonight for the Warriors. I don't care. So beat them down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how you're going to start making changes little by little.
Mm-hmm. Kuminga's out there shooting. I
saw that.
I don't love his form. Now he has made like 5 in a row or something.
Yeah, now I'm going to watch him.
I'm not crazy about his three-point form.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing that's frustrating for...
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah.
He just
Who
missed.
cares?
To me, the thing that's frustrating... Well, I'm just, sour grapes, since we don't have them. I'm looking for things wrong with them. When the Kings eliminated the Warriors, I think some of us dared to think that that's it. They're broken. We broke them. They had won 4 championships, whatever, but they have bounced back from that, and they got Jimmy Butler, and now they're at least acting like they think they have a chance to be one of the better teams in the West this year. And we thought we had broken them and finished them.
I thought at the beginning of the season, before the beginning of the season, we were like, they're old. Like, Kuminga's going to be disgruntled. It's not going to work, and then they come out of the gates on fire.
Yeah.
They slowed down a little on the road, but, they'll compete.
Mm-hmm.
They'll compete. They got Steph still. They've got Butler, so.
I believe we have the newest King.
Oh, is he out there?
Right
there he
now.
is. Precious Achiuwa.
Jump shots. Precious Achiuwa. Jay, how much you think we're going to need from him tonight? I would say we're going to need as much as he has to give.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm going to need right what his average says. Give me 7 points and 5 rebounds.
Yep, there we go.
Real quick, I'll play a little clip he talked about, caught up with Sean Cunningham press conference earlier today.
Nice.
Talked about I was in shape. Here we go.
Yeah, of course. I'm ready to go, but I'm sure you guys already heard this. You cannot replicate basketball shape. Conditioning-wise, I'm good, but it's something I wouldn't say, because I haven't played in maybe 2 weeks or so since the season started. But I'm good.
He's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always that game shape, right? No matter what pro sport you're playing, you can be in the best shape, but it takes a minute once you're playing actually in the game. But no doubt, he's a pro. He was ready. He was ready to go working out, ready for a team to pick him up.
Yeah, he's a very good fit for this roster right now and what the Kings need. And I think that he'll have an opportunity tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Eubanks may start, but I'm sure we'll get a Precious Achiuwa.
Over-under. Set me an over-under.
Ooh.
I need you to be the sports book, Mr. Gleason. Over-under.
Yeah.
Give me some minutes.
On minutes?
On Precious.
Yeah, I would say 12. I'd set the over-under on 12, and I think I would take the over.
You're going to go over?
Yeah.
I'll go under.
Yeah?
Just for the heck of it.
Oh, man, 12 was a good one. You must have
I know,
you
it
must have
is.
studied under the Godfather in Vegas. I'm going to say he's going to get 14, so I'm going to slide right over.
Over? Okay.
Right over.
Fair.
All right, and you, Jay, didn't you, and this was kind of a wild card,
Yes.
didn't you have him as your starter tonight, just kind of for
I would
fun?
like to, yeah.
Stranger things have happened, Jay.
Very true. I'm hoping he starts, but after hearing, talking about he's got to get into basketball shape, and you normally run him out, play a quick 5 to 7 minutes and see how he feels and, bring him back off. So he probably won't start. I would love to, though. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. He said he hasn't played in a couple weeks? Is
Yeah.
that what he said?
Well, he said he hadn't played basketball in a couple weeks. He's in great shape. He's in shape, but playing versus
Game action.
practicing game action, is a little different.
Yeah. Westbrook starting tonight?
I would think he's got to.
Yeah. I would think so.
Yep.
Pajemski is out here on the floor. I know he was questionable, right?
Well, it looks like then if he's out here, I would think
he's looking like he is moving without any restricted movement. So that's going to be part of the fun tonight when the game starts, is just figuring out, wait a minute now, not only who's guarding who, but
who's out there.
Yeah. I'm
mean,
feeling good about this one tonight, Jay.
I like it. Okay. There we go.
We turned him,
I
Jay.
like it. Okay.
Look
Kayla,
at this.
You're rubbing off on my boy over there,
All
Stretchy
right.
B. Yes, sir.
Drew Eubanks is he's knocking down jumpers tonight.
I'm telling you, I like what I saw in the last couple of games. I'm like, again, I got to put my glasses on. Is that Eubanks out there? What does he do? Like he's he's been okay when he's needed to step in for Domas.
So enjoy the game tonight, and don't worry so much. I'm talking to myself as much as anybody.
Don't
worry
proceed
so much
with
about
caution.
What's going to happen down the road, and what are they going to do with these contracts, and what are they going to do about getting younger? No, they're playing
Eat your
the Warriors
popcorn
tonight.
in front of you,
That's right.
Have some popcorn.
Have some popcorn and enjoy the game. I'm predicting a Kings victory tonight. Anybody else got anything?
Big V for me, victory.
Yeah, 119 to 111, in fact.
Oh, okay. You're giving a score?
Yeah.
Okay,
119,
125 to 115.
Okay. Who's winning?
Sacramento.
Sacramento. You got anything, Jay?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything because I might get flambasted here.
Oh no!
I'll stay back here. No, I actually give me the Kings on the back of Russ Westbrook, Precious Achiuwa playing 14 minutes, and DeMar DeRozan going for a soft 30. Soft 30 with Malik pouring in about 15. I'll take the Kings 121 to 113.
Let's
There you
go.
It's a done deal.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay. We appreciate
Thanks,
it. Back in
Jay.
the studio with you tomorrow. Thanks for all your work today, Jay.
Absolutely. You know it. Appreciate you guys.
You
And
too.
Thank you, Kayla.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see you soon.
Yeah. KJK or KKJ or whatever you want to call it.
And stick around because we got game night coming up next. I believe.
I think it's Jay Ross.
It sure looks like Jay
Yes.
Ross.
Yeah, I think it's Jay Ross.
Hey, are you doing game night, Jay Ross? Are you doing game night? Yes,
Yeah.
says he is. So it's Jay Ross and the High Flyer Henry Turner. Game night is next, right here from the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
You guys are clear. Good stuff.
Whole team looking like wow. 2.3 points. Yeah, it's adding up. Have you had enough? Shoot the J, stay ready. Legends in the crown heavy. Half court buzzer beater. Pacific Conference leader.